flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots had Christian Gonzalez on the field at practice yesterday as they began to get ready for a division round playoff game against Houston and Foxborough on Sunday. Gonzalez was wearing a red non-contact uniform as he works his way through concussion protocol. He was listed as limited. Offensive lineman Morgan Moses and Thayer Munford were the only two players not to participate. Drake May was on the field. He's getting ready for a very challenging weekend.
I think the DBs, the guys in coverage, know that, up front that they're good. So that gives them a capability to maybe try to, take some more chances, knowing the rush could get home. And, faced them last year. So got a little bit of a feel for it in my first start. Was kind of just trying to, stay alive out there. So, these guys are, great up front. They're great in the back end and got to be good and got to be, firing all cylinders.
Houston Top Gun Nico Collins absent from their practice because of his concussion. The big story in the NFL this morning is John Harbaugh. According to ESPN, he and the New York Giants are working towards a contract after meeting yesterday. The Bruins will retire Zdeno Chara's number 33 tonight before their home game against Seattle. The ceremony begins at around 6:20 this evening. We'll have coverage of that during the Joe Murray Show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Then it's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers. They'll have the pregame at 7:30 and the face-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hampus Lindholm at practice yesterday with a red non-contact uniform on. Celtics continue their road trip in Miami tonight. Jaylen Brown will return. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 on 105.7 WROR. And the Red Sox finally made a free agent splash yesterday. They signed former Phillies lefty Ranger Suarez to a 5-year, $130 million deal. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 celebrating 125 years of power in Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Takes the snap, rolling to his right. He's being chased by Judon. Drake May on the run to the 5.
Drake May knows it.
Boston, he's the best sports city in the world.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Send out some pictures of I want to see what you got. Contact me, please. I need some butt.
The girl trying to hump.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch the show live on YouTube anytime during the day. You can watch it recorded. Big show on the way today. Lots of football guests. More on Zolak's messy situation coming up at 8 o'clock. Lots of fun to be had. That is what we'll be doing today. Last night I took the big sleeping test.
Oh, that's right. You had to pick up all your
Forgot about
machinery and your gear.
Yeah, so you go into this office building, and both of the offices have tinted windows. They're across from each other, and they have tinted windows, and the doors are locked, and you have to buzz to get in. And then it's a very clandestine situation. I don't know why. It's only a sleep clinic. You don't sleep there, to my knowledge. At least no one. There were a lot of people there, and no one was sleeping there. And they just hand you this bag, this paper bag, and they're like, briefly talk to you, and then you're on your way. And you fasten this thing around your chest, this little tiny machine, and then you put your finger in this like when you're at the doctor and they put your finger in the thing to check your like, body temp and like pulse, and then you put this tube in your nose, like when you're getting nitrous or something, like the little tube with the two holes up your nostrils.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you are to sleep like that. And then I am to return it this morning on the way home from work.
So why do they need to tint the windows if that's all they're giving you?
I don't know. It was so weird.
That's very strange.
It was so weird. Like I can't think there's many expensive things in there. And it was just like a sleep clinic. And maybe they have a place where people can sleep, but it was I went there at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Now, you say it's just a sleep clinic. If it is, the tinted windows lead me to believe that it's a front for something else. Now, if I were, trying to front a gambling ring or a drug shop, where you're selling your marijuana pot or something illicit, I probably wouldn't, as my fake business, be dealing in medical supplies, because that seems foolish.
Well, and
it seems
also
like an outlay of expense that you don't necessarily want.
Right.
I wouldn't also have 6 people with 3:30 appointments all picking up the thing at the same time. Yeah, that seems like
the paper bag is suspect. Also.
Yes. They just give you this paper bag and they're like, have at it.
Is it from Shaw's? Is it like
they
had been
blacked out?
repurposed?
No, it had actually holes in it. It was from an old New Orleans Saints game. They were. It said "Aints" on it, and then and I had to go through that process.
Right.
But it's funny because they like make you put this stuff on you, and then they're like, "Go to sleep." Like just go to sleep, and I did go to sleep. Now the Whoop says something different.
Oh, did you fix the Whoop? Is the Whoop fixed?
I listen. It was same day delivery, Amazon. I got my Whoop. A new
got the bracket,
a bracket, a wristband, a new Whoop wristband.
Oh, I'm happy to hear it, because you were all out of sorts about the Whoop after the show. You were panicked about the Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't monitor any of my health meter. I couldn't monitor my body temperature or my pulse rate. It was my variable heart rate, my VO2 max. All of it wasn't happening.
Oh, Jesus. Was there a discernible difference in your quality of sleep according to the Whoop last night with all that gear on?
No, it's
scuba suit on?
Still 3.5 hours. We were dealing with 3.5 hours of sleep last night. Said I was up for 2.5 hours.
When do you get the results? I mean, you take the stuff back today. They analyze the data. It's all.
Oh, yeah. They analyze the hell out of the data.
Now, was it transmitted via Wi-Fi in real time, or is it somehow kept on the device that you had strapped to yourself?
I'm going to guess that it was strapped to the device. I didn't do anything, hook up to any Wi-Fi or anything. Okay. So, and with the Verizon outage, is Verizon still down? No, Verizon's working now. Verizon was out. For me, all afternoon, all evening until I went to bed.
Fun.
Did you guys have that?
I didn't for some reason. A lot of people I knew did.
My daughter did, and she's on my plan, but me and my son did.
Yeah, it was weird. My kids and I have the same plan. All three of us had it. We were fine, but the guy across the street didn't have it. Odd.
Yeah, I don't think we had any issues. Well, I don't know. We're on the Xfinity one, which I think uses Verizon.
Yeah, that's Verizon.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And also, I get 2 bills from Verizon, so I don't really know what's going on.
Oh.
And good luck using that app. So, like, at some point, I just have to, like, go into Verizon. And that is a fun situation. You're really cooking with gas at that point.
I had to pay my daughter's spring tuition last night.
Oh, that's fun.
This is interesting. So all the information about her as a student and her account and all that stuff, I can't access. It's a special parental portal that we're only granted access to certain things. Like, the money's coming from me and her mother, so we should be able to see everything conceivably. Like, no. You go to this site, and then you go to this crappy secondary window here. You click there, and all we're going to do is show you pay this amount. What about seems like there's a lot of cool stuff on here to look at. That's not for you to look at. That's only for her. She's the student. You're just the fin sub. Just here. You get a number and pay that, and go to some other place. Don't even pay it through the website. Pay it your own way. but make sure we get it. Yeah.
So they don't get, what do you want to see, like grades and stuff?
Something. Yeah, anything.
Right.
It'd be nice. Nice to, look at the grades instead of just taking her word for it.
It's a big-ass money transfer.
Yeah. It's fun. It's good.
Oh, I do it now. I do it with his high school.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I imagine you have access to stuff.
I have access to everything, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get in there. I get to stretch around. Now, how often I use it is I got to tell you that it wouldn't make much difference to me if I couldn't see it or not.
I have full access to everything on Calvin's high school thing, and I never look at any of it. I read the emails from the school. That's it.
Yeah. All I know is that we get from Zoe's high school, we get like stuff that she misses class, and we're like, well, she didn't miss class, and then it's just this errand for us to like tell them that she didn't miss class.
Right.
I don't know why that keeps happening, but they're like
ditching.
She's not. Now there was a day where the school was locked. Now, and she admitted this. So there was one instance when the school was locked down. There had been some like threat, but it wasn't like a real threat. They had made a threat and they had locked the school down, and a bunch of people left. And we told Zoe, we were just like, just stay at school. And she ended up leaving like with a friend, and she used it as an excuse to leave with her friend. And she ended up like missing a couple classes. And the only reason we knew that happened for real was because a teacher emailed and she's like, hey, Zoe wasn't in class today. We want to make sure everything's okay. And then we knew that was true. So I texted Zoe and I'm like, you left school? Because she had been saying, can you come pick me up from school? And she admitted to it. So I was like, all right, you admitted to it. But now they keep saying that she missed school, and then we go back and go, well, she didn't miss school, and then they find out she didn't miss school, so it's a whole thing. I could do without that. That seems like an unnecessary. Then you have to prove she didn't miss school, or like vouch that she was there and go to the teacher, and then the teacher's like, oh yeah, she was here, and so I don't understand why this is all happening. It seems like an awful lot. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Hey man, I missed a pickleball session last week, and I got a email saying like, "Hey, you were supposed to be here, and you weren't here." And
shame on you.
What? Yeah, if it happens a couple more times, you won't be able to reserve ahead of time. I'm like, whoa. And there's a spot where you say if you've reached this message in error. I'm like, y'all were resurfacing the pickleball courts. Nobody was playing. So I don't know how I'm supposed to show up for pickleball when no one was allowed on the pickleball courts. And I wrote them a 5-paragraph essay. And how I did not appreciate, none too much.
Yeah.
Were they properly chastised after you did it?
I never heard anything.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, but he had to. If you miss enough, you have to wear an A for an absent. You have to sew that onto all your clothing while you play.
Yes.
So you were properly shamed.
Scarlet letter.
You wore a dunce cap with a sad pickle emoji.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, because it throws everyone off. I mean, if you go to show up to pickleball and then you're one short, you're really up the river.
Well, that's the nice thing. You're hardly ever one short. It's sweeping the globe. This sport.
Oh, so you can pick up a single. There are guys like on a golf course.
Well,
we have a third, but we have an empty spot. Guys waiting.
There's waiting is the proper word, John. It's a wait list.
It's the hardest part.
Wait list Willie always shows up. At pickleball sessions, and you show up on time, and the court's full. It's like whoa. I'm reserved for this session. Who's wait list Willie out there? And then, you either cop to it or you don't.
Oh,
and then, it becomes a bit of a thing.
Vision of 5 guys in the waiting room saying, just
now,
put
do you
me
have
in.
your own equipment?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where do you buy? Did you buy it online or do you go to a store?
I bought the paddle at Dick's, and I bought court shoes at a New Balance outlet.
Court shoes?
Court shoes?
Yeah, because I didn't have proper court shoes. You just can't wear your...
What makes them
Is it
different?
Like bowling?
Yeah. It's
what makes it? I like the great colors. They have great colors like bowling shoes.
Yeah, like what's the style
It's
of
a good
the court
point.
shoe?
Yeah,
tennis. Think if you were buying specific shoes to play tennis, like on a concrete court, not grass, not clay, but you don't want to play tennis wearing like On Clouds or Hokas or anything with. They have to be flatter.
Yeah,
how are pickleball shoes? Sorry, sneakers, whatever they are. How are pickleball sneakers different than tennis sneakers?
I think I just said they're not. They're the same thing.
They're the exact same thing.
It's a freaking.
Well, there are
court
pickleball
shoe.
shoes. I've just Googled it.
Yeah, but there are running shoes, there are basketball shoes, there are court shoes.
Okay, yeah,
so
but there are
shoes.
specific. No, there are specific
Yeah,
pickleball
okay.
shoes.
I don't think they're any different from
The
tennis.
Asics gel dedicated
Those are
pickleball shoes.
Supposed to be nice.
Yeah, they look hot.
How much do they run you?
Yeah, $100.
Okay.
I mean, nothing crazy.
All right.
Would you like to know what they're dedicated 8s? Which is, you got to be willing to go to 8. That's pretty much the minimum. If you don't go to dedicated 8, but they have toe overlays, which are very expensive.
Ooh,
very
toe overlay.
in case someone steps on your foot, which
okay.
can happen on a crowded court.
Sure.
They have truss stick technology, wrap up outsole. That your stability is fine at that point,
Right.
because you don't want to turn your foot. Right.
According to what I've been reading lately from this company called Move, M-U-U-V, who makes their own pickleball shoe, the toe box on a lot of pickleball shoes is not wide enough.
What?
It's not wide enough, the toe box. So
You put your toe where?
I think I'm okay with the ones I'm using now, but I am due for some new ones because let me tell you, those things get ripe. You know, they're
Really?
they're full leather. They're not breathable.
Once you've been to the morgue and you get enough toes in the box,
Yeah.
can get ripe.
But John, you're a runner. You should know about this. So what's the thing on running shoes? It's the heel drop. It's the toe box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's all
John,
this
what is
stuff
it
that
with
you're
the
supposed to-
running shoes that you are so familiar with?
I don't spend a lot of money. I don't spend $200 on running shoes.
Yeah, what do you think?
Sorry.
He's got $200 laying around on running shoes?
Sorry, I don't
What are
do
you,
that.
crazy?
No.
Well, there's a lot of
He and his
controversy
wife
with
have both
running
been
shoes.
gainfully employed for the last 30 years, and he can't go buy
There's
wanna
a
buy
shoes.
$200.
No, there's a lot of
$100 shoes would get it done.
the
really.
running industry, because we've had this conversation before. I told you about the podcast I listened to that was with a trainer who trains elite athletes as well as regular people, and basically the lesson was don't bother. It's all so scientific that everything you're doing is a complete waste of time.
Yeah, you might as well be just cleaning underneath your fingernails with the tip of a pencil.
Yeah, to my understanding, the thing is that with running shoes is that you go to the running store and then they will convince you that you don't know how to run, and that because there are some people that are like there should be nothing between you and the road, really. That's why like the Ethiopian runners run barefoot. Is that's why they're so healthy? Is that any artificial arch or cushioning is very bad for you. But then there are some people that are all about the cushion. So you get John into this headspace, and then he doesn't PR anymore.
Toe
He's
runners versus heel runners. Oh,
It's all about the stride.
Yeah, because if you go to like a real running store, I think like if you go to the one that's in Newton, like on that corner, they have a dog bowl with water, so I'm familiar with it because I'll walk by there with Deuce occasionally.
Yeah.
I've never been inside, but I believe they like measure your stride and like have you run, and then they break down your whole foot.
They take you out on the sidewalk and make you run back and forth.
Yeah.
There's one in Norwood that did that.
Yeah, that seems like a incredible waste of time. I guess if you're running a marathon, sure. But if you're just running around,
they must love to see you walking by with Deuce because you're barefoot a lot of the time. They think this guy's got it figured out. This guy's out here. He knows how it works.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a neighborhood character. They're like, there's old Freddie No Shoes, and I'm like, yeah, what's up? There's old Fred, filthy feet. And I go, oh yeah,
laser surgery on my toes.
All right.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, there's old Freddie Funky Feet. And I go, what's up? And they go, hey, what's up, neighborhood character? And I go, nah. You're the guy who took the sleep study. I go, yeah. You got in. I saw you buzzing in.
There's a guy who stands outside with his dog at this convenience store, not far from my house. It's the most convenient of the convenience stores. I've never seen him in the store. I've never seen him anywhere else. He's outside that store standing there with his dog. That's Fred walking by the Marathon Sports there in Newton. You're just that guy.
I just so badly want to go in. I can't get the courage, though, to go in there and talk to those high school kids working there.
We're trained for upwards of 22 minutes.
Well, listen, I hear that
the proper shoes.
The cross country team at South is they're kind of poaching them out of there.
Yeah.
All right, we will be back. Big coaching news, a bunch of stuff going on in just a moment.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hello, we are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going on?
Well, big, as you said, Fred, big goings on with the NFL coaching situation. But let's start with news that was broken yesterday here on 98.5 The Sports Hub by one James Stewart.
Before we go on, we have breaking news.
All right, you have it, Jay Stu, so take it.
Per John Heyman, Ranger Suarez to the Boston Red Sox.
Left-handed pitcher from the Phillies?
That would be correct. That would be him.
Wow.
That's a stud.
Wow. Is he a free agent, Jimmy?
He is.
Holy crap, where did this come from?
Was this
Well,
the guy?
season tickets on sale tickets are tomorrow. So they
Yeah, part of the collab. Yeah, cynical James. This just in from John Heyman via my cell phone's Twitter.
Ho!
So that is how the Red Sox respond after Alex Bregman leaves over the weekend. He declined the offer to return to Boston. Instead, they go pick up Ranger Suarez, the lefty, 5-year, $130 million contract. That's according to multiple sources.
You know what they got, Johnny? They got a couple guys, a couple crafty vets.
Yeah, Ranger Suarez is the epitome of a crafty left-hander. The average, in a day and age where everyone is supposed to throw 98 to 100.
Is that what you call a 90-mile-an-hour fastball? Crafty?
Crafty.
Yeah.
He gets by on guile. He gets by on pinpoint control. Everyone in the league now
steely stare.
Supposed to throw 98 to 100. His average fastball velocity was 90.6.
He doesn't give up a lot of home runs.
Which is what Sonny Gray is. And Sonny Gray doesn't give up a lot of home runs either.
Yeah, you're going to have to stagger those two guys. You can't have them pitch back-to-back days, those two guys.
I love it.
Well,
I love that it's coming back, baby. The art of pitching. It's the anti-Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland's got 10 kids that throw 100. They each pitch an inning.
Yes.
And
then
their arms fall
mastered
off.
that for a long time. Tampa Bay.
And then
same thing.
they just rotate them through the system, and then their arms fall off, and they got kids in reserve for when Tommy John inevitably happens to half of them.
Suarez, that's the thing. Suarez is 30. You say, why give a 5-year, $130 million contract to a 30-year-old? Well, as he gets older, it doesn't matter if he loses velocity off his fastball.
He can pitch 90 until he's 45 years old.
Yeah, he could be Jamie Moyer for the next decade.
John
seriously.
Burkett.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is that so you have like a huge stud as your number one pitcher now, a big lefty that throws hard but tends to wear down. But with Sonny Gray and Suarez, you got two guys that should not. I mean, they could obviously get hurt, but comparatively to the rest of the league, these very low chance of them blowing out or fading out towards the end of the season.
Good on the Red Sox. I mean, their offense is significantly worse, but the pitching is fantastic. The rotation is fantastic now.
Well, that seems to be the case. I'm glad you brought up your precious Sonny Gray, Fred, because you were insistent on that he was a legitimate number 2 guy, and now it looks as there's going to be some competition for that number 2 spot.
Red Sox fans' emotions have just been in a blender for a few weeks now.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, John, I feel for you. You have to. Your emotions must have been in a blender.
Hey, Will Middlebrooks is telling you about how you feel, so you shush and you let him tell you.
Well, you've been in a. I'm just saying, Will, I get it. I see John every day. His
blender.
His emotions have been in a blender. It's been overwhelming for him this
Red Sox fans' emotions have just been in a blender for a few weeks now. Every day you wake up, it's a different type of pain. But this is a good signing because everyone's in pain with Bregman. Well, 5-year, 130. It's a lot of money, and he's not a guy.
It's been so hard to do the show through the pain. That's the problem.
It's the different types of pain. It's a certain type of pain one day, and then it's another type of pain the next day.
Well, it's the stages of grief, really.
Yeah.
And that you hear Ranger Suarez and you think, oh, this is a top of a rotation guy. But he is. He absolutely is. And you have to dig into the numbers a little bit to notice that.
Yeah, dig in.
He was an all-star 2 seasons ago.
I have a heaping helping of some stats.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 or 3 potential all-stars on this team.
Yeah. Ranger Suarez is Eddie Harris. That's what he is.
That's what you said last night.
Yeah, that's what I said last night. Ranger Suarez is Eddie Harris. That's what he is.
I don't think Eddie Harris is one of the potential all-stars on that Indians
No,
team.
that's true.
Well, he had a lot of liniments on.
That's right.
He doctored the ball. Are you accusing Eddie Suarez, or are you accusing Suarez of doctoring the ball?
I don't know. That's the first thing I thought of. I'm throwing every piece of junk I can think of out of a skipper. I got enough for one more hitter.
I love that they got two guys throw high 80s. I think it's great.
Yeah, nobody else, no other rotation has this.
No, I love. I mean, these guys should go. 7 innings, 6-7 innings in a game. They should be starting pitchers. I like that the craft of pitching is coming back. I do enjoy that.
You like it? John Heyman likes it.
They were concentrating on Alex Bregman. That's the guy they wanted back. They offered $165 million. They responded quickly. They pivoted, as they say, and now Ranger Suarez is a Red Sox. I mean, they built a great rotation, right? Sonny Gray was added. Johan Oviedo was added. So they've added 3 starting pitchers. This is an excellent rotation right now.
Look,
Sonny Gray, by the way, is going to be your number 2 starter just via him being right-handed.
Okay,
right.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I would assume that they wouldn't want to go lefty-lefty if all things are the same.
The argument, I was actually reading about this last night. The argument is because Suarez is so different than Crochet. Crochet gets out there and throws bullets. Suarez is, as I said, a junk pitcher, crafty guy. You can afford to pitch them on back-to-back days because it's still a different look.
Okay, but Sonny Gray's the same as Suarez, except he's right-handed.
So you have Bayo third and Gray fourth.
Yeah, I get. Well, I don't know if you tell Sonny Gray that he's the fourth.
I'll tell him.
Okay.
I'll tell him.
They must have told him something because he agreed to a trade. So I don't know if Sonny Gray's your 4th starter. That I would think that's not happening. From an opening day starter to a 4th starter behind Bayo, no. He's
I'm
way
not
better
sitting
than
behind
Bayo.
that guy.
Well, he's also way better than Bayo.
Yes, he is. He
so
is
yeah,
better than
no. I mean, he's a proven veteran.
But
He's a former All-Star. He was an opening day starter last year.
But
on
now,
a bad team. But
now you are in a situation where you have something that not a lot of other Major League Baseball teams have: a surplus of starting pitching. You have the kids who pitched at the end of last year, Early and Tolley. You have this kid Oviedo who you got from Pittsburgh. You got Cutter Crawford coming back. Whatever the point is, you can afford to deal now from a position of strength to get the bat that you really need to make a run at this thing. The offense they have isn't good enough. You need another big bat in the middle of that lineup. And now you can – everybody wants starting pitching. Maybe you get the bat that you need to help.
Okay, you get yourself Brendan Donovan. It's going to take a lot, but you get yourself a little Brendan D.
So that was the news.
Deal an outfielder.
That was the news from the Red Sox. Yes.
You got a right-handed outfielder you can deal?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if he wants to Don Rafaela, he hits right-handed.
No.
Gold Glove center fielder.
No, I don't think so. Because the Cardinals need a right-handed hitter, and so
do the Red Sox. The Red Sox desperately need a right-handed hitting power bat.
That would be funny if one of the guys they picked up in the offseason, they pitch him 4th in the rotation behind Bayo. This guy can't throw strikes. Why am I pitching the day after him?
This guy crapped himself in the playoffs last year in front of everyone. What?
Well, but we all knew he was going to.
By the way, Suarez, that's the other added bonus. Suarez is nails in the playoffs. He has a real career ERA of under 2 in the playoffs at 11 appearances.
This was like 148 or something.
It was some
crazy.
crazy number. Yeah, he's really good. So.
So that was the Red Sox news yesterday. Also news from the New York Football Giants.
The New York Giants and John Harbaugh are now finalizing an agreement to make him the next head coach. No team was more aggressive than the New York Giants in pursuing John Harbaugh, who spent Wednesday in the Giants facility meeting with various team owners, officials, even players, including their quarterback Jackson Dart.
It was a classic case of, and I heard this before he took the meeting, that the Giants were of the mind that they weren't going to let him leave the building without signing. They were going to lock him in a room and they're going to, do whatever it took. Now, he had taken a meeting with the Falcons, but that was not in person.
Right.
And he had scheduled something with the Titans for today. Miami, presumably, was never in it. which I think was interesting. As soon as Harbaugh became available, the next day, Mike McDaniel was cut loose, and I don't think the Dolphins ever had a shot at it.
Yeah, the Giants were in, I guess, an enviable position. If you're an NFL team that wanted Harbaugh, the Giants had already conducted the required interviews. 2 minority candidates had already been spoken to. They were in a position where you could bring Harbaugh in and said, let's do this right now.
You have to do those first before you bring in outside people?
No, before you hire.
Before you hire anybody.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
So I guess what Harbaugh was looking for was draft capital, quarterback, and flexibility with the salary cap, and of course organizational,
control, basically,
and also organizational stability. Like he wanted good ownership, and the Murras apparently are good owners, even though they fire every coach. So a lot is on this Jackson Dart. I mean, apparently Jackson Dart around the league, everyone thinks he's super good.
I don't know.
We'll see what ends up happening with that.
Unless that kid learns how to get out of bounds or slide.
Everyone says that, but it's, I don't know, beyond that, that's like a Drake May. Like if Drake May was getting hit a lot, you'd go, okay, he's great, but he just can't get hurt. See, that's almost a trope with Jackson Dart. Like, yeah, I understand he gets hit a lot and he's had concussions. The thing is, I don't know if he's good. Like, I know Drake May's really good. I don't know if Jackson Dart's really good. It's not a matter of Jackson Dart's like incredible and then he gets hurt. It's Jackson Dart has shown, I guess, enough, and then he gets hurt. But I wouldn't pencil in Jackson Dart as being a top 10 quarterback or even a top half quarterback in the NFL.
But the thing is, apparently Harbaugh loves him. Apparently
obviously
he's all in on him.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that, and I mean Harbaugh would know more than I do, but it just he doesn't seem like a can't miss kid. He hasn't proven a whole lot. I mean, look, if I'm the Giants, I'm not drafting a quarterback. Obviously, in the first couple rounds, I took Dart, and I'm happy with where I took him and how he's performed. He was a later pick in the first round, so good for you.
But you still give it a minute.
Yeah, but I wouldn't just write him in as this all-pro quarterback all of a sudden, or this elite quarterback. He doesn't seem that way to me. Maybe it's the turtleneck and the chain. But remember, don't say anything about the chain, because his sister, who's very much alive and well, gave him the chain.
Right.
Remember that? There was something that we had to pause because there was a story behind it, but the story was just his sister gave it to him.
I think Bert told us, it's I didn't want to say anything because there's something with his sister. And it's his sister had it and he liked it, so he took it.
Right. You thought that the sister was, on her deathbed and with some horrible youth disease and handed him this necklace and it's
go out and win one for me.
Which even doesn't mean that you have to wear it over your turtleneck during the games. I mean, even then I would still question wearing it, but he just took it from his sister.
Right.
Who's still alive and
yes.
And pissed.
And got everything.
that he took her necklace.
Yeah, I mean, he's a kind of. I mean, between him and Scadaboo, that's a very unlikable team.
Let's get
Scadaboo's no good either, by the way.
Yeah.
For your own edification.
Runs 27 times for 76 yards and has one touchdown run and does backflips in the end zone and poses for the camera. Yeah.
I heard some guy making fun
of
of him, and they had the stat of yards after contact, and he was last in the NFL or something like that.
No, he's a bowling ball, and guys bounce off him, but I mean, he can't run away from anyone.
Well, they don't bounce off of him enough because he's not getting yards after contact. He's running into guys, and they're stopping him. And I'm sure he puts quite a blow on them, but he is stopping at that point.
I wouldn't call it news, but there were encouraging signs from Foxborough yesterday, which we'll do next. We're not doing it now.
That's a tease.
Wow.
I even want to know what happened at Foxborough. Well, there were encouraging signs. And there's encouraging signs the other way in a negative direction for the other team. You understand?
That's a double tease.
Skaboop. I had to come up with something. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots play Houston at Gillette Stadium this Sunday for a division round playoff game. The roster is about as healthy as you could expect. Offensive lineman Morgan Moses and Thayer Munford, the only two players missing from practice. Christian Gonzalez out there with a red non-contact uniform on as he works his way back from a concussion. Houston without wide receiver Nico Collins thanks to a concussion of his own. ESPN is reporting that after meeting yesterday with the New York Giants, John Harbaugh and that team are working on a contract this morning. Bruins play Seattle at TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7:30 and the face-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The team will retire Zdeno Chara's number 33 before the game. Celtics are in Miami tonight. Jaylen Brown will return. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 on 105.7 WROR. And the Red Sox signed Phillies free agent lefty Ranger Suarez. It's a 5-year, $130 million deal. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Wes Welker, and Rob Ninkovich. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Want the lowest price on name brand tires? Town Fair Tire beats all the...
tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, you teased big things. You better deliver.
Encouraging signs from Foxborough. Yes. Take two. Take three. Encouraging signs from Foxborough yesterday. Nailed it. As Mike Vrabel was talking to reporters, question and answer.
Do you expect Christian Gonzalez to practice today?
I do anticipate him being out there.
Oh, yeah. Christian Gonzalez in the concussion protocol. Wasn't sure when he would be available. Practicing it in a non-contact jersey yesterday. So that is a good sign. In terms of the concussion protocol, there are 4 stages, I believe.
I was told 5, but, I mean, no one really knows.
We don't know. We don't know for sure.
Yes.
But he is improving. If you want to compare it to what Nico Collins is doing, Fred, your tease?
Oh, well, Nico Collins, the chef man, Adam Schefter, saying he's not playing. I don't know how he would know that. But Nico Collins did not practice yesterday, and there's, 4 stages?
One of the stages is you have to be out on the field in a red non-contact uniform for a couple of days, and then you're out there fully for a day, and that's what I was getting back to. You have one fewer day to pass through all of that. The fact that he wasn't out there on Wednesday is big news.
Right, and so he would have to be out there, I guess, on Friday in a non-practice, in a non-contact jersey, and then he would have to practice on Saturday. If they have practice on Saturday.
It's like a glorified walkthrough on Saturday.
I know, but does that count? See, these are the things that you have to ask yourself.
Good question.
Because is it fair to the guy that's in concussion protocol if you're good to go for practice, but there's not, first of all, I don't think any of these practices are incredible amounts of contact.
At this time of year, you're probably right.
Yeah,
yes.
I'd imagine Vrabel doesn't have them running around doing Oklahoma drills.
They're not doing a full pads.
Well, yeah, I mean, they might have pads on, but I highly doubt that they're looking to
hitting is the point.
Yeah, I don't think they're looking to wear themselves down any further than they already are. Yeah. So, we'll see. I mean, look, Nico Collins was carted off the field. He looked like he had a very severe concussion. He was having trouble getting up, on the sideline, getting up. That's why they took him off on that cart.
In real time, it looked really bad.
Yeah, and so, it looks like he wouldn't play, but, who knows? But certainly Christian Gonzalez looks like he's for sure playing, so there you go.
And Kyrie's Tonga was out there yesterday also. So that's all good news. In terms of one of the things we were discussing yesterday about the institutional knowledge that the Texans have of the Patriots. Vrabel addressed that also.
If they know what call's coming, then we should try to get those coaches. I think that there's certain styles of offense. Got all our tape and got all theirs. If they know what Josh is calling or they know what we're calling, then they got to jump on us.
Now, did the Patriots pull off a very Belichickian-like move yesterday, John?
I forget the name of the guy, but they signed a former Houston. And it's not like he's ever going to suit up for the team, but they signed a former Houston Texans practice squad player, and they added him to their practice squad. Kind of odd timing. 3 days before the big game.
No, it's not. Houston. They want to know what's in the playbook.
Yeah,
it's much like when Greg Brady stole the playbook of the other team, and not to be confused when he stole the mascot of the other team, and he had a goat walking around.
Also, not to be confused with when he projected an image of a UFO in the backyard. And he also had a huge cold sore on his lip in that episode.
Well, and you'll remember his brief recording career. It lasted about 15 minutes of a 22-minute episode when he was Johnny Bravo.
Well, he fit the vest.
And then when he found that out, he said, "This is for the birds. You don't want my music. You just want a body."
Yeah.
And my friend, am more than just a body.
More than a piece of meat.
I'm Greg effing Brady.
Yeah.
I live in the attic.
Not only do I fit the suit, I am awesome. That's
well,
what
I mean, but this is he got to move into Mr. Brady's office, and he really hippied it up. He had a bunch of beaded stuff to get in, and then he moved to the attic eventually a couple years later.
Well,
Don't worry.
They overproduced it. It was like the outfield. By the time they got done working on that Johnny Bravo record, you couldn't even tell it was Greg singing, and it did. But that didn't matter to them.
I'll take you down to the outfield. I didn't get to go, but they played in a guy in my old station's morning show's basement.
One of the best pieces of audio, and unfortunately video, which doesn't matter at this medium, but it was funny
you can
to
watch
look
it
at.
on YouTube. Just put Steve Barnes, the outfield, and you can watch him playing drums with drumming gloves on in his basement.
Yes.
Yes, he made people come down to his basement and made the outfield go down there and play in his basement because they were friends. And that's what you have friends do. You humiliate them by having them play in your basement like they're in 8th grade. So everyone can look at that for themselves, Steve Barnes. He's sued me in the past, so be careful what you say in the comments.
I won't say anything.
Well, it won't
here or
reflect
there.
poorly on me. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, this is you can't sue me for this. The outfield played his basement. He made T-shirts. And he does have drumming gloves on. But if you would like to see that, you can just put Steve Barnes and see the guy that sued me playing drums for the outfield. And what did he sue you for, Fred? Would you, slash his tires or, threaten him with a gun? Oh, no, I made fun of him on the air.
Well, you can't do that.
There was one thing that I said.
That was injurious to him.
There was one thing specific. If it would have happened in Boston, they would have just thrown it out right away, which was that I said he had been fired, but in reality, his contract was not renewed. It had run out, and so the word fired. But apparently in Massachusetts, because I was in Massachusetts when he served me the papers, in Massachusetts, that wouldn't have been the issue that it was in Atlanta. But it didn't come to me like you said he was fired. It came to me in a big old, like a Yellow Pages thing, and we had ran his film, No Witness. Barnes made a film called No Witness. Corey Feldman's in it. Don't worry about it. And we did a live screening of it. Now, I can't say I was nice, but we did do a live screening of No Witness, and I was doing commentary, and they had a guy there filming me for Barnes's legal team filming me, and they went through the effort of transcribing everything I said drunkenly during that because I was making commentary throughout the movie.
Yeah,
and that was part of the lawsuit. Now, none of that was anything that I had to worry about, but it was just there in writing.
Well, I would think you should worry about that. Didn't that hurt the box office?
Well, no. It was a huge success. No Witness. You saw it. So the thing is that what was smart on his part was to transcribe all of that because it was just an hour and a half of me blindly insulting him. So when, that's all public record, when that came out, the media, of course, got hold of all the insults I had towards him and said Barnes is suing Fred for saying he's Captain Back Acne because there's a scene where his shirt's off and he has what appears to be back acne. So it was good for his career in that it made all these insults I said about him, instead of being in a bar full of 200 people, available to anyone who read the Atlanta Journal-Constitution or Creative Loafing or these. It became and everyone was on his side. They thought it was very. It's always good when you're quote unquote a comedian to really sue someone for what they said.
Whatever
about
happened
you.
to that guy?
Well, the Morning X is back. It is a pre-taped morning show that Crash does live traffic on now. So at least they gave Crash a job.
Right,
so I don't have anything. I don't hate Barnes. I don't. I used to. I don't anymore. Enough time has gone by where I don't hate him. I don't. No.
Yeah.
Stop it.
There you go.
No, there's still people I hate, Hardy.
Oh, well.
Really?
We'll revisit that section then, won't we?
You know what? It's not a hard, fast rule. It's not a religion.
For the, by the way, No Witness, 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. No critical reviews, only audience reviews, and none of them verified. So
well, you can go on Amazon if you really want to. If you have a lot of time to kill today, you can see the reviews on Amazon, which if they can't be edited, were put up during him suing me and are pretty funny. I didn't put anything up there, I swear to God, but people put funny stuff up there. It wasn't a good idea to sue me. I ended up having to pay him $8,000, but it cost me $30,000, and I didn't have any money, like $30,000 to defend myself.
Yeah.
And so, because everyone else he sued was dropped because they were protected by the company because they still were working for Cumulus, but I didn't have that protection anymore because I had been working for a new company. What is that called? There's a legal term for it. Indemnified. The Cumulus had to pick up. So there's no point suing him because Cumulus had an in-house legal team and they just would have defended him. So he dropped the suit against everyone else and just kept it against me. It was a way to make me uncomfortable, which worked. But then again, here I am in the same market 20 years later, and Barnes is pre-taping a show, on the Morning X. So I'd imagine there's a financial discrepancy in terms of our salaries. And I'm thinking that I won that one.
See you making any movies? I don't know. I don't see
you. Thank you for not unveiling the project, Chet. Because all I want to do is make a movie.
I don't see you hosting top 80s acts in your basement.
No, I wouldn't ask a friend of mine to play my basement, but that's just my own thing. It's my own insecurity. Because I wouldn't ask my friend in a touring band to play my basement.
By the way, Darryl Taylor is the Texans practice squad guy who is now with the Patriots. A defensive end, so he's going to give all the defensive secrets.
This is how you stop Will Anderson.
Yeah,
this is how you need to do it.
How do you guys get to the quarterback so often? Well, the guys who actually play are very fast and very good.
Yeah, far better than me.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
gotcha.
Joe is very, very hyped up that Josh McDaniels knows everything that's going on with the Texans because the Texans' offense is from the McDaniels coaching tree, and Joe is
Nick Kelly used to be an assistant.
A lot of heat on the Patriots. A lot of people thinking the Patriots have this. A lot of people, most people, national people.
That's very cute, but I'm not worried about the Texans' offense. That's not what would keep me up at night prior to this game as a Patriots fan.
All right. We'll be back
on the Sports Hub.
stepped on the field in a red non-contact uniform as he works his way through concussion protocol. He was listed as limited. Only Morgan Moses and offensive lineman Thayer Munford were missing. Houston, meanwhile, without top offensive player Nico Collins, who was also dealing with a concussion. ESPN is reporting this morning that after meeting yesterday with the New York Giants, the Giants and John Harbaugh are working on a contract to make him their new head coach. Bruins will try to sweep their 5-game homestand tonight when they play Seattle at TD Garden. Brian Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7:30 and the face-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Before the game, the team will retire Zdeno Chara's number 33. We'll have coverage of that at around 6:20 during the Joe Murray Show. Hampus Lindholm, by the way, on the ice at practice yesterday in a red non-contact uniform. Celtics will be in Miami tonight. Jaylen Brown will return. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Red Sox finally made a move in free agency, signing free agent lefty Ranger Suarez to a 5-year, $130 million contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99. Like the juicy chopped sirloin, all Big Deal meals are now available all day, every day for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 98.5 Sports.
Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if it could be arranged if Gary Tanguay could do all on-air reporting on the Red Sox new pitcher, Rocky Suarez.
Yeah. Rocky Suarez had a bro, Ranger Suarez. And he couldn't throw as hard as Rocky because he didn't have a pendulous bosom to carry her through.
At the very least, this could take her mind off of her pain for a few hours.
Yeah, she had plenty of places to hide the pine tar. She had plenty of places to hide the emery board. You understand what I'm saying? Under her cans is where I'm going with that. You understand? Rocky Suarez was a crafty lefty. That's right. All right, thank you, Dan. We appreciate it.
But she was a cop. A cop's cop.
Gary Tanguay still insisting not to do the show, even though we've not reached out of late, but he will not do the show.
We ever get a good reason after all this time?
He won't. He just says, like, I'll pass.
This show isn't serious enough for him?
Nah, it ain't no dork podcast.
I am an outsider here.
I don't do terrestrial media, baby.
It seems odd to throw away 10 or 15 years of friendship like that.
Well, you know what? When I was sitting down, who's the guy that did Anchorman again? What's his name?
Will Ferrell?
No. The director, the old Saturday Night Live. Right? He did Step Brothers. Yeah. When I was with Adam, Adam was like, you know what? The lamestream media, stay away. Be an artist. A mystery. You don't want to unveil too much to the press. I see Affleck and Damon doing their best hyping up this little Netflix thing they got going. Call me when the big boys at HBO come knocking.
Back off, dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I was stunt casted in the Chair Company.
I'm sorry, smartass.
Right. See, we always celebrated his doing the news talk radio. We always celebrated it, and he never. He didn't appreciate that. Like he was on a competing company. Doing talk radio, political talk radio. We'd have on and be very nice.
Him on a competing radio station.
Yeah, plugging him and being nice about it, and that wasn't enough. I mean, I guess
we were nice about it. Like we were talking about how he was very deftly handling the audience for that particular show.
We all love Gary. How many of us went in and taught at his class?
The only thing I can think of is the last time we had. I would still do it. The last time we had him on is we ripped on his tattoo. And perhaps that was what pushed him over the edge. That was the last time we had him on the show was we saw his Instagram photo where he had the South Carolina flag symbol or whatever tattoo, and we had him on, and we kind of ripped him for that a little bit.
All right, so he's upset that he has a tattoo that's the entire length. He's about 60 years old. He gets a tattoo that's the entire length of his forearm of the state flag of South Carolina, which is a palm tree.
Yeah.
We say, why did you get that tattoo? He goes, I love South Carolina. My son got it too, and because he said his son got it, now it's beyond any kind of mockery.
Right.
And then we go, like, yo, you like South Carolina? What do you got a place down there? No. Well, how often have you been there? I've been there twice.
Yeah. Right.
Well, did he say 2 times?
2 or 3, but either way, it's
like I've been to South Carolina many, 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 many more times than he has. More times than he has recently.
And you do not have a tattoo of the state flag on your forearm.
If I had a state flag of South Carolina, I would expect at least people being inquisitive. And then if I knew them and they were them teasing me a little bit,
right?
A giant state flag, a palm tree. You know what I got is I got Buffett vibes. You know, I'm like a private dick down in the Keys, like that one dude wrote about the Miami guy, whatever. You're not well read enough. Rocky Suarez had a great tattoo of a palm tree.
Didn't we figure out it's his only tattoo as well? Was like the first tattoo he's ever gotten, or does he have?
No. Every time I do a movie, there's just a check mark on my left ass cheek.
It's like notches in a lipstick case.
And I got this space reserved for when I get my SAG award for best nonverbal part. My left foot. That's what I'm going for. Is my left foot.
He did post something yesterday from page to screen: literary screenwriting and acting retreat. Now, this is happening at the end of February into March.
It's happening in my kitchen.
Led by New York Times. No, this is at the Mandarin Oriental.
Oh.
Led by
You
New
can't
York
say that. Believe me, I've walked into that many times. I had this whole scene at this Asian spa, and you'll notice I said Asian because, look, there was some problems. I had all these crazy ideas for the soundtrack, but it was a lot of, let's be honest.
That was great of you to be careful like that.
Well, yeah. I told the hotel, I'm like, whoa.
The Mandarin
Asian.
The Mandarin Hotel.
Yeah, I've gotten myself in trouble with that.
In Boston, led by New York Times bestselling authors and top industry professionals.
Lean Z was an Asian broad with a problem. She had busy hands, but a busier mind.
Wow.
Well, yeah, she was a masseuse.
That's poetry.
Yeah, right. So there's a writer's retreat that he's going.
Yeah, and he said, and he had a comment. He said, "Writers unite!" Exclamation point. Look forward to seeing everyone.
No excuses not having the money. Any 401k money, funnel it out. Invest in your future.
And then he tagged Casey Sherman, who is the author who's written a lot of good stuff, and he
look at me.
He gave a little yay emoji or something. To it.
So this is to say that Gary is going to this writer's retreat.
I would apparently
send Nick, track him down.
Oh, that'd be
hey,
great.
Gary, what's up, buddy?
Let's send Nick with some.
You got a screenplay on you?
Some ideas of his own for some books.
All right, you got 2 minutes, kid. Make me wow me.
Okay, so it's an Instagram model and
right, yeah, following.
Yeah, and there's a guy in a hat who gets killed by another guy in a hat.
All right. I've heard it before. It's called Curious George.
Pong ka po ag.
All right, give me something else. I've heard that before. It's called Curious George.
Okay, so there's another one where there's a guy on the radio and he
love it.
But he's friends with another guy who used to be on the radio, and they're not friends no more.
What happened, broad, between them? Or sweet murder?
And so I'm thinking I don't know.
Bayou Gotchi.
All right, here I go. I got an elevator pitch for you. Kid, kind of dim. Works on a radio show. Can't do nothing because he's got a kid. Kaboom. Write it down.
Damar is Coda. He fixed that. Come on.
Now we're gonna go back. Now we're gonna dig into why. Why is it so important? Relationship with the father. Estranged.
See, I can relate to this because I have a kid. And
yeah, you know the pain, baby. Cat's in the cradle.
You get home, and then I got a kid, so it's hard.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to keep eyeballs on that little bundle. You know, you can't just leave him. All right. Listen, does he want to come teach my class? I'll watch him for 2 hours. He's going to stand up and tell the kids what's what. Gary's daycare plus two birds, one stone. I watch your kid. He teaches the class. From the mind of youth, don't constrain things by age. I'll tell you, that Tatum O'Neal hit it out of the park when she was a kid.
So I think that's it, Gary. I told everything I wanted to say. 40 more minutes.
Yeah, just QA it. Q&A it. Favorite color. You know, what do you want to be? Fireman, police officer, astronaut? Tell me. You more of a superhero kid or like a real like Tonka truck? Let's go. From the mouth of babes, we're coming up with a new Zootopia. All right. Look, what the hell was I even going to do here? Now I forgot. Now, Gary got me all off my mark.
We did have an email yesterday from Not Gary Tangway.
Okay.
You guys gave me a raging idea. Follow me. Red Sox ownership enters a darkened conference room for an off-season Q&A. As they settle down behind the mic, silence is interrupted by an unsettling opening question. A disembodied voice poses sarcastically, "How many molehills are you going to turn into mountains, sir?" The lights turn on to reveal everyone's fears. Matt McCarthy.
That's right.
Y'all are crazier than Aunt Myrtle when she mixed up her menopause meds with Cousin Kenny's methamphetamines. Management fumbles their way through nonsense responses, eager to end the presser. A soft yet scary voice interjects from behind a curtain. You cats think you're done here? You obviously don't know about my affinity for cats. Cut to black. Cut me your royalties check. Care Bear out.
Yeah, that's the whole Boston Red Sox situation with McCarthy and Stewart. Double sabotaging them. That's the name of it. Double sabotage.
Double sabotage.
Yeah, there's a real Southern dandy and some weird kid. And the two of them team up to solve crimes.
The pitched title is A Southern Discomfort.
There you go. From the obviously the time that Matt McCarthy was in that thing. I'll tell you, they make me take this sleep study. I can't do anything right. I can't sleep right.
How did you sleep
You
wrong?
got pickleball shoes. Everything needs something special. Like if you're playing pickleball, you need to have pickleball shoes.
You gotta have court shoes, yeah.
If you're sleeping, you have to have some kind of device on you.
Sure.
You would think that the one point as a human, like animals don't sleep wrong.
Whatever happened to just showing up and doing something? You know what I'm saying?
But it's just like you can't even you can't even sleep. Like even the time where you are not responsible, you are completely given in to rest. That you're not even doing right anymore. The idea that as you get older, that now even those moments of sleep, which are supposed to be rejuvenating and comforting, these now require me to have devices on me, is a real blow.
The sleep is stressing you out.
Yeah, this Whoop has really got me has got me going for a loop. And then when you
let me ask you,
when you sleep next to someone that's not used to sleeping next to you, and then you wake up in the morning, they're like, "I didn't sleep because you keep gasping for breath." Mm-hmm. Then you're like, "I can't even sleep anymore, right?"
I still can't get by the tinted windows thing we talked about last hour. Well, that whole thing, I can't figure out why the windows, when you went and picked up your stuff, you went to an office with a tinted window in a building. I don't understand why you would need to do
when
that.
I picked up this sleep equipment, it was basically they just handed me a bag. I mean, it was a nice woman, but she just handed me a bag. There was like a bunch of other guys there. We were all in this hallway. Like they were very reticent to like let you in this room. There were two rooms across from each other, but it was in like an office building.
Sure.
And then they both had Ring cameras and security with like codes that you put in. And then they hand you this like kind of garbagey device to put on. I can't imagine that there's, $20 million worth of sleep devices in that place and how you're going to fence those things.
Don't understand any of this.
So yeah, it was legitimately odd. And so it's me and like four other guys like kind of standing around in this like hallway of an office building in between two offices that they really don't want you to walk into. Maybe they want to streamline. I don't know. I don't know what the danger is of a bunch of middle-aged
you
guys.
You want to do that? Lock the door. If you're that hyper-aware, lock the door and let one person in at a time. It's the privacy issue that apparently is there that I don't get.
And how many violent criminals do you think put a CPAP machine on at night?
That's true.
Like how many people that are like knee deep in like the cocaine trade are like putting a CPAP machine? It seems like the dangers are much worse than just a lack of sleep.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of betas going in and out of there.
Exactly, like a bunch of loser like middle class guys like going in and out of there. It's all guys too, and it's just like a bunch of loser, sheepish guys like they can't even sleep right.
Some of this really does go back to the whoop, and I don't think you were as concerned about your sleep before the whoop. Can I ask you, do you reap any tangible benefit from the whoop?
Well, let's see.
No, without looking at it.
No, I can tell you what tangible benefits I've gotten from the whoop.
All right,
okay. Last night I slept for 3 hours and 34 minutes.
Okay, that's not of benefit to you to know.
I was awake for
that.
3 hours and 13 of those minutes.
It's not good to know
REM
this.
sleep for an hour and 23 minutes.
How does that help you?
Sweet dreams. Well, I can tell you that.
How is the whoop helping you?
My respiratory rate is 14.7 RPMs.
And how does it help you to know that?
Well, just lets me know where I stand.
It makes you feel worse, actually, doesn't it?
My resting heart
rate. You feel much worse about your sleeping.
My resting heart rate is 53 beats per minute, it says, but right now it's at 73 because you're aggravating me. My heart rate variability is 95 ms. It's up there.
Okay.
My skin temp's only 1.2 Fahrenheit from baseline.
Your resting heart rate is 53?
That's what it says.
I bet mine's about 88. My heart thumps like a rabbit.
I'm a little in between the two of you. Upper 60s, lower 70s.
I think 53 is low.
Yes, it is.
61 is my average.
We got a break, but Fred, in all seriousness, like this, you've been doing such a great job recently of handling like your anxiety and putting yourself in a good mind space. This is doing it's undoing a lot of that. I don't think you need the whoop.
And it's not why I got the sleep study. It's that the whoop. I didn't have the whoop when I got signed up for the sleep study. I got the sleep study because I'm apparently gasping for air. What doing a good thing? I'm not a child. Don't tell me I'm doing a good thing mentally.
Well, first of all, I don't think he's handling his anxiety all that well. So everything.
Well, he's not now because he's obsessing over this stupid whoop. Get rid of that thing.
Never has. Look at him. He's a mess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How many steps a day do you have? Is it in 11,000 range? Because then, my friend, then we can start talking.
The last time I looked at my steps was that day I had to go to the boat show, and boy, did I blow. My phone asked me a couple of times, "Are you okay? Did your car break?"
This is unusual.
This is unusual for you.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aging at a much lower rate than I was when I first got the whoop.
Yeah.
They tell you where you're aging, your real age, you know? They tell you that your real age is, see, I turned 51 tomorrow. But it says
right?
I'm 52.9.
Tomorrow?
Age.
Tomorrow's your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh.
January 16th, yeah.
Okay.
Same date every year.
Yeah.
Right before MLK Day.
Is it always on a Friday?
Always. It's always the second Friday in it's always the second Friday
nice
in
trick, actually.
Yeah, second Friday in January.
Huh.
Just like MLK Day is the what is it? The
Third Monday?
Third Monday or
That sound
something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the same. We celebrate the same way.
Huh.
The greats, you know. The greats usually born in January.
Let's talk to the other Gary.
Really?
Yeah.
Tangway's on?
No, the other one.
All right. Okay. We'll talk to Gary Myers coming up in just a moment.
More.
Oh, all you fans of Canadian rock trios, there is a big band coming to the Leaderbank Pavilion on June 4th. Band by name of Triumph. And we will have tickets to see Triumph. Now, Rush are getting back together, and they are coming to town, but this is not that. This is like your appetizer for Rush.
By the way, you see Sammy Hagar's coming to Great Woods?
Of course. I'm in
Rick
the band.
Springfield opening up for him?
Yeah, of course. What do you think? I'm not listening to Eddie Trunk? Eddie Trunk had a guy on from a band yesterday. He put himself in a effing underground bunker for 6 months writing his new album.
Wow.
Yeah, he was at the Black Sabbath reunion. Not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah.
Gary Myers, who filled in for Bill Ward during the Heaven and Hell era of Black Sabbath, is a sports writer and author who has written for the Dallas Morning News and the New York Daily News. He's got Brady versus Belichick. The Dynasty Debate is out. Everyone loves that book. It's a big hit around the station. Gary Myers, hello, sir.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Nice to talk to you. And what good timing, as it looks like in your own city, New York. The Giants have cornered John Harbaugh that this is the job he's going to take.
And it's going to be trumpeted as a return to relevance for the Giants after pretty much being irrelevant for 15 years since the second time they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in the 2011 season. This was such a crucial hire for the Giants because they needed a coach with, credibility and integrity and who commands immediate respect. And bringing in a Super Bowl champion coach is just perfect for them right now. And their roster is not as bad as their 4-13 record would indicate. They have a second-year quarterback coming up and a coach in their first year with the team, which sounds similar to the formula that you guys have experienced in New England this year.
So it seems like this was a classic case of once Harbaugh got in the building, they weren't going to let him leave without agreeing to a deal. I guess my question would be, until Harbaugh became available, what do you think their plan was?
Well, I know, Rob, that they wanted a coach with NFL experience. So I think, as soon as Harbaugh became available, he was by far and away at the top of the list. But Kevin Stefanski and maybe to a little bit lesser degree Mike McCarthy were the two coaches they were going to focus on. I think they really liked Stefanski a lot, a two-time coach of the year, and you can't really necessarily hold against him what happened in Cleveland over the years. But I can tell you this, they were in touch with John Harbaugh's representatives a week before he got fired, letting them know if he did get fired or they came to a mutual parting, that he was the guy they wanted. So they were on the board before Steve Bisciotti even called Harbaugh on the phone a week ago Tuesday night and said, after 18 years, we're going to divorce here. So the Giants were the leader in the clubhouse from the outset of this.
Isn't there some kind of tampering there? I'm just wondering. You can't contact a guy who's already employed by another team?
That's a great point, and I actually brought that up to somebody, and they said there's no rules about who you can contact as long as you're not contacting the coach himself. So in other words, you can reach out to the representative and just kind of plant the seed. Now, Mike,
you ever reach out to Jim over on the other coast and say, hey, you call your brother and say,
I don't know if I did that, but the point that I made, and I don't disagree with you on this one, because I said to this person, well, what happens if Harbaugh has the opportunity to, make some concessions to Steve Bisciotti in order to keep his job, but that he, at the same time, he knows the Giants want him, so he feels he has some leverage, isn't that, kind of stretching the rules a little bit? And this person said no. So It's nothing I really investigated, but it is interesting.
Yeah, go talk to Aaron Glenn's people because I'd imagine there's quite a few other teams investigating, kicking around that, seeing if he could cut himself loose from the Jets, get him in there. But
why would he want to do that? They owe him $40 million for the next 4 years.
No one's going to pay him that much.
I'm joking. So what I'm saying is part of what Harbaugh apparently wanted was, like a good organization, and everyone seems to, respect the Maras, but he wanted a quarterback. You mentioned Jackson Dart. How convinced are you that Jackson Dart is could be like a top tier quarterback?
I know that there's such a concern now that he's prone to concussions because he got called into the blue tent a lot. And we remember Dable running after, opening the blue tent and trying to check on him during that Philadelphia game. But he only had one concussion last year. I'm not minimizing one, but plenty of quarterbacks and players go through one concussion. So as long as he, understands, to run out of bounds and doesn't get blown up on the sidelines like he did in that Monday night game against the Patriots, I was really impressed by him last year. He throws the ball well, is able to get into small windows, has a good pocket presence, and maybe just as important than anything, the players gravitated towards him. The veterans gravitated towards him in the locker room. You never heard one player say when Russell Wilson got benched or Jameis Winston got passed over, like, what are we starting a rookie for? They knew what they had in him. And, I've been around the Giants for a long time, and there's so many of his traits that remind me of Phil Simms back in his rookie year in 1979. If he can have, close to the success that Phil had, I think, the Giants can be pretty happy. But I want to mention this. No question that Jackson Dart was a major selling point to Harbaugh during this because, the Titans and the Falcons were the other two teams, and the Falcons' quarterback situation is a mess. I like what the Titans have in Cam Ward, but, there's no infrastructure around him. The Giants do have a lot of talent on this team. They just haven't had a lot of good coaching.
Okay, so, you got the Belichick Brady book. Has anyone reached out to Belichick about any of these jobs?
I have not heard his name mentioned one bit. And I can't say that I'm surprised. You guys probably aren't surprised. There was, no traction on him basically 2 years ago after he got fired. He was talking to Arthur Blank for a while, and then they backed off. He talked to Washington for a little bit, and they backed off. And then last year, knowing that nobody wanted him, he went and took the Carolina job. This is an amazing story to me. There might be another book in this phone call when he reached out to somebody who was involved in the Jets process and asked if they were interested in him being the head coach. And I don't need to educate New England listeners on the relationship between the Jets and Belichick. And just the fact that he stooped to that degree to try to get back in the NFL shows you how desperate he was to have an NFL job and not have to go to college, and then left with no choice after the Jets basically laughed at him during that phone call. That's what led to him going back to Carolina. And now that we're a further year removed after a really tumultuous year for Belichick in Carolina, I'm not surprised at all that he hasn't, gotten any interest.
I'm not either, but it is amazing that it just seems that it's not his coaching acumen that's the issue with these guys. It's if he was at all not the way he is personally, like if he if he wasn't such a problem, you have to think that, there's so many coaching opportunities over the last 2 years that he would at least be on the radar, right? Like he's just removed himself completely from that just because of the way he is. You got Pete Carroll with a job. Like, it's just crazy. Like it's a great lesson. It's a fascinating lesson.
Fred, I also think, his lack of success without Brady. Now, I don't hold that. I mean, in my book, I made a point that I didn't consider that in making the judgment on who deserved the most credit. But the fact of the matter is, he never was able to transition away from Brady and find another quarterback. His personnel decisions over the last 10 years were really poor. That being said, I think he was making the point to teams that he did not have to have personnel control. I early on thought that a reunion between the Giants and Belichick made sense at this point for both of them. But here's what I was told. We all remember that text that he sent to Brian Flores, thinking he was going to send it. He was sending it to Brian Dable, congratulating him on getting the job.
Right.
And that basically initiated the lawsuit that Brian Flores filed against the league for hiring practices. That burned every last bit of, let's say, the Bourne Bridge, so I can show I know my geography up going to the Sacramento Bridge, between the Giants and Belichick. And after they hired Joe Judge in 2020, then fired him after 2 years, the Giants truly believed that Belichick and Judge were bad-mouthing the organization. So I was told by somebody I really trust, there was zero chance they were going back to Belichick. And even during the last year was the Giants' 100th anniversary, and they celebrated it the entire season. Maybe it was 2 years ago. And they were doing a series of TV shows, and they were going to get some assistant coaches that were instrumental in the Giants' success over the years. They were going to bring them into the stadium and interview them. And I was told that when the producer suggested Belichick to the Giants higher-ups, they said absolutely not. They didn't want him taking part in anything to do with the 100-year celebration. That shows the depth of the animosity that is developed from the Giants' end toward Belichick.
It's crazy, and it's fascinating. And Gary Myers has got it in his book, Brady versus Belichick, The Dynasty Debate. You can get it now. Gary Myers, always a pleasure, sir. We always appreciate it. And quickly, you got a prediction for the Patriots game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think this will be a tough game, but Houston's got it's Houston, right? I haven't really paid attention.
Houston. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Houston.
Yeah, there's been so much going on here. Houston's got probably the best defense in the league. I think this will be a low-scoring game, and I love what the Patriots are all about this year, and I think they'll win a game something like 20-17. I do want to point out here that all my Jet fan friends, and I know, Fred, that you're a Jet fan, that they're saying, how is it that Brady tortured us for 20 years, and then in 2020 they thought they were back on even footing with him, both looking for a quarterback, and they were both going to stink for a while, and the Jets still stink, and now the Patriots, are among the Final Four in the AFC, and I would not be shocked if they completed this run by getting to the Super Bowl. Like I said, I really kind of like what I see from them, and Vrabel's a great coach, and Drake May is so much better than I thought. Jet fans are just beside themselves that the Patriots are back to this point and the Jets still stink.
Yeah, you should try talking about the Patriots every day for 5 days a week.
And Gary,
I can imagine.
You should also talk to some younger Patriots fans who will say they have suffered.
Yeah.
They had to suffer through 5 years.
Well, I'll tell you what,
that's
Gary. I think
suffering.
I think the kid from Oregon going back to school might have been the best thing to happen to the Jets. Maybe it saves them from themselves a little bit.
Well, yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent. But if the Jets decided they didn't want him, somebody would have, and they would have been able to trade down from number 2 and picked up the extra picks. So
no, I understand, but that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on them because then if that kid hits and you trade it out of the pick, it's just I just think maybe this is better. It's just better for everyone.
To go through another year without a quarterback.
Well, I think that you could get I don't think that kid was going to start for him anyway right away, and I think that you would have to get a placeholder anyway. They got a ton of picks in 27, and there's supposed to be a lot more quarterback talent in that draft. They can't afford to push that down the road a little bit based on the moves they made last year. So
I can see them following with the path of what the Giants did last year, when they traded up to the middle, like number 25, and they took an Ole Miss quarterback, and now the Jets, have 2, 16, and 33, and somewhere between 16 and 33. I can see them either using that first-round pick or using the second-round pick to trade back up to get a third number 1 and taking an Ole Miss quarterback named Trinidad Chambliss. So
nice
that would
5'11".
be really cool.
Yeah, okay.
I know that's the thing is that he doesn't touch 6 foot, but he's a really good player. I mean, if he was 6'3", he'd be the first pick in the draft.
Oh, and there's no question about it. He's just 24 and short, so have my questions about that. But look,
You know what? He sounds like a perfect Jet to me, don't you think?
Yeah, it sounds like someone that can a Justin Fields type. Very, a guy that comes in and has a lot of nice qualities, but is missing the major one, and that's being able to win. All right, Gary Myers, thanks so much, everyone. Brady versus Belichick, the Dynasty Debate. Buy it. Gary, thank you as always.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we appreciate it. We'll be right back. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Good news for the Patriots. Christian Gonzalez on the field at practice yesterday as they begin to get ready for their playoff game against Houston Sunday in Foxborough. Gonzalez wearing a red non-contact uniform as a result.
On 793-1098.5 will win a pair of tickets to see Triumph at the Leader Bank Pavilion on June 4th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. tombstone. Tom Brady in their second seasons as starters with the Patriots. And I will acknowledge that I'm an idiot, but they have a graph, and I can't make heads or tails of the graph.
All right.
It's just a series of red and blue lines with white areas in them, and I don't understand. And there's dots. It's just a whole situation. It's a lot to take in. It seems like something that could easily have been put in graph form, but it is exceedingly confusing.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're looking at it. It's I take it.
It looks like
The season game by game.
It looks like a DNA map.
It's the seasons game by game because Brady has 16 of them and May has 17 of them.
Yeah.
But other than that, there is it's very confusing. I got to tell you.
Okay.
I'm with you, and I was ready to make fun of you, Fred. I wouldn't even begin to look at this.
And some circles are filled in, and some aren't. It's a whole thing. I don't really understand any of it.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
it's someone with way too much time on his.
Okay, so
it's Chris Price.
Yeah, so if
someone with way too much time.
So if all of us have college degrees and we're all looking at this,
yeah,
then I have to think that we can't be the dumbest people that read the Globe. So this is an issue that needs to be rectified. You're making everyone feel dumb. I can't tell who even was better. Apparently, Brady had a very blue week 3 of his second year. Very, very blue.
Yeah.
And many blue circles with one circle that is not blue, gray. But there are some circles that are just the outline of the circle is red or blue. I don't know what that is. I really don't.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Confusing. A little frustrating.
No.
Okay. All right. I'm starting to get it. The circles are touchdown to interception ratio.
Okay. So what's a circle with gray?
Well, that's the mystery circle.
Okay. And then what's a circle in week 2, the red circle that's outlined red but is white in the middle?
That is a... that's a rushing circle.
Okay, but the rushing circle can be either a gray outline or a red outline.
Right. The gray circle is an interception.
Okay.
The red and blue circles at the bottom are passing touchdowns. The gray circles are interceptions, and the circles that are not colored in are rushing touchdowns.
Ah.
Okay.
Very good. So who had a better season?
Clarifying that. Yeah, that was going to be my question. So what does this all mean, Hardy?
Well, it means week 16 was a 5 red circle week.
Okay.
For one of those guys.
And as
Drake May is red, Tom Brady's blue.
And as you'll recall, John, week 3 of Brady's second year was a 4 circle blue circle day for Tom Brady.
But he also had the interception. That's the gray circle.
Well, he threw for 400 yards, Hardy. I mean, give the guy a break.
Well,
I mean, he can't do it all. He's slinging it around in that game.
Second year as a starter. Yeah.
So there you go.
What happened to Brady in week 6? 1 touchdown and 3 picks?
I don't know.
Come on, who'd they play week 6 of Brady's second year?
Come on, John.
And it's not his second year as a starter.
Washington. Look it up.
It's only 23 years ago.
What was this, 2002 or
Oh,
2001?
it's 2002.
Okay. I'll look it up. I bet. No, I have no idea. I do know that the Patriots won the first 3 games of 2002
Perillo
and then
would
lost
know.
the next 4.
Yeah, it's a shame Perillo's not in that chair.
If Perillo's listening right now, let's see, and we'll find out if he is. He'll text me right now. Who did Brady throw 4 picks against in week 6 of his second year? He'd be like, that was Cleveland.
Well, Louth still has the bruises from bludgeoning himself during that game. Just completely, just dumbstruck with grief at that point. All right, look. When we come back, yesterday there was a lot of talk of Scott Zolak. It seemed he had a perfectly timed Zolakian fart during a conversation with Tony Maserati. It turns out that was pre-taped, but that is not the issue. The issue is Zolak's the sounds, the repercussions, because what that could mean to him physically. And so with the Texans coming to town,
yes,
one can only think of Texas. And since Scott Zolak will be calling the game, what happens if you combine Texas with Scott Zolak? It's just that simple. It's called Zoe's Mess with Texas.
No, Zoe's Mess in Texas.
Yes.
Zoe's Mess in Texas.
Yes. You don't mess with Texas, but this is Zoe's Mess in Texas.
Right. So what does that entail? Well, you'll have to hang on. And I suggest you do, because it will have farts in it. And that is as big a selling point as I can give you.
A couple.
A couple of farts. All right. So we will have that for you in just a moment.
This is Boston's home for sports. The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots play Houston at Gillette Stadium Sunday in a division round playoff game. The roster's about as healthy as you could ask for. Offensive lineman Morgan Moses and Thayer Mumford, the only two players missing from their first practice of the week yesterday. Christian Gonzalez out there and limited while wearing a red non-contact uniform. Houston head coach D'Amico Ryans is getting his great defense ready for Drake May.
I think the young quarterback has handled it really well. And when it's not there on the deep shots, what he's done this year that sets him apart, he's done a really nice job of escaping the pocket.
Ryan was missing wide receiver Nico Collins at practice yesterday as he, like Gonzalez, is recovering from a concussion. The NFL Network reports John Harbaugh has accepted the job of New York Giants head coach this morning. He and the team are finalizing a 5-year contract that'll make him one of the highest paid head coaches in the NFL. Bruins will try to sweep their 5-game homestand tonight when they play Seattle. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7:30 and the face-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Zdeno Chara's number 33 will be retired before the game. We'll have coverage of that at around 6:20 during the Joe Murray Show. Celtics continue their road trip in Miami tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 on 105.7 WROR. And the Red Sox make a big signing yesterday in free agency, bringing in former Phillies lefty Ranger Suarez on a 5-year, $130 million contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Avidia Bank, the Metro West best bank. Work with a community bank that goes above and beyond for their customers and their community. Honest to goodness. Member FDIC, member DIF. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Here we go.
Boom.
I win.
Boom.
Yeah.
Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports. Get angry. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Yeah. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. And that's why. Farts. And you can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube to get all the wonderful programming. And Scott Zolak was on the air on Tuesday from Gillette Stadium, where they broadcast during the season, and Tony Maserati was on the phone with them, and this happened.
Yeah, the best day of the week, by the way, is Tuesday when you guys aren't here and I can come in and take the studio over.
That's fine.
I sit here all by myself.
You know what? We like a lot better down here. It's probably less of a mess, too.
Oh, my God. It's the one day I come in, I don't have to clean my workspace.
That's good.
Because I was the last one to sit here.
Yeah.
I can smell Zoe's feet from here.
Oh, that was a live one.
So, again, what Zolak does, it's on TV, is he takes, you can see it at Toucher and Hardy as well. On Instagram, and you can see us playing this from yesterday, is Scott takes the mic out of the mic holder. He's got a handheld mic, and he puts it to his buttock and seemingly live rips a fart. It turns out it was taped, but it doesn't really matter. This is a Scott Zolak fart.
Feet from here. Oh, that was a live one.
Yep, that was a live one. And so Scott obviously has very wet farts. And and the team. There's other times Scott's done this. Can you please play the burp? I got a lot of feedback on the throw up burp. If you have that.
I'll get that in. All right. You all right there?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You worry about yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to worry about everybody.
Yeah, you jackass. You worry about yourself. I just vomited it into my mouth, but don't you worry. No, that's just an old-fashioned burp. So, anyway, the Texans are coming to town, and when the Texans come to town...
Pardon me.
I mean, that's...
Excuse.
I mean, how many times has that happened on the runways of Milan? A young woman, or I mean, that could very well be taken from the royal family in the 1800s when one of them gets up there. When it gets up there and lets it happen. But since Hardy, Texans are coming to town, and they are from Texas. Texas is known as having a slogan, "Don't mess with Texas."
That's right. But if Scott Zolak is involved with the game, as he is on Sunday, calling it for your hometown New England Patriots, it's a whole different situation.
So made a mess in Texas. So made a mess in Texas. So made a mess in Texas.
So what if Scott Zolak was down during iconic movie moments of Westerns? It's as simple as that. So how are we going to play this game, Hardy?
Well, we are going to listen to a famous scene from a movie set in Texas or near Texas. Whatever, close enough.
Don't worry about it. It's with cowboys.
Don't think about it too much.
All right.
And Zoe will mess with Texas, make a mess in Texas, and you have to determine what scene from what movie he is messing up by his presence.
Now, your accuracy, John, is going to be everything in this.
Oh, really?
It doesn't work without you being accurate.
Flailing away? Okay.
Yes. The important part of this bit is to get the answers right, not to listen to how Zoe is messing up the scenes from these iconic films.
Right, so a lot of pressure on you, Jonathan.
Okay,
I'm just warning you.
Very good.
All right, are you ready, gentlemen?
I've never been more.
All right, scene number one.
We work for Mr. Tunstall as regulators. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Hog boy!
Now that is, of course, Emilio Estevez breaking wind.
Yes.
A lot of concern in the Estevez family about his diet.
Yeah.
Very wet.
Now, you've identified one of the actors, Fred. Thank you for keeping us on track and actually playing the game here.
Well, I often think of Warren G. and Nate Dogg when I hear that, and the famous fart that they sampled over and over again, because when you hear that clip, you think, of course, the beginning of words, mount up, regulate. And then Warren G. famously started the trend in hip-hop of wet farts.
Sure.
Right. So I know the movie. John, do you know the movie?
I do.
I've never even seen it, and I know the movie.
I know the movie. It's Young Guns.
Oh, that is correct.
So made a fart in Texas.
That's right. That was Young Guns.
Fuck.
Hog boy!
Okay.
That was Young Guns.
Yes.
Young Guns is correct. You're both.
That's when he farted in it.
Yes.
Very proud of you. Now, not all Westerns are set in the olden times. Some have a more modern-day feel to them. Big hint for this one.
It's either heads or tails. And you have to say, call it.
Well, look, I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything.
How's that?
You stand to win everything, call it.
All right. Heads, then.
Well done.
The tension mounting before Zolak farts. And you would think that they would go, an extra keeps farting very wet. Print it. Keep it. Zolak's a real problem on the set with these farts, but they add so much gravitas to the scene.
That's right.
I have no idea, John. Is that like an old country for old men thing or something like that?
Wow, Freddie T.
Freddie T.
He didn't even know what he's doing.
I wouldn't have gotten that.
He's correct.
Nicely done.
It wasn't too bright.
Oh,
to
done.
wear pants that were white. So made a fart in Texas.
You're listening to NPR.
Yeah.
All things considered, a big situation in Minneapolis. As we get out there. Oh, that's right. We didn't know you were on mic. Okay. What else do we have? I'll tell you, the anticipation during the dialogue
of when it's
going to happen is really something.
It's really the most important part, and Zoe has a flair for the dramatic. He got impeccable dramatic timing, and he really knows when to step in to give that scene that little oomph, that little punch up.
I'll see you in hell, William Money.
Yeah.
Whoa,
double.
A little bonus. Wow. A little bonus on that one.
So it's part of the scene, really.
Yeah, it
Whoa. Now, was it the man shooting that was so nervous that he made the mess, or was it the man being shot?
I'm glad that you picked up on that because you can hear a little breath being taken right before the gas is expelled.
Yeah, or gas, among other things. That's actually, if you don't cut off the real audio, that's what happens. If they had a ground mic.
Oh, man.
Okay, I have no idea. I don't
know. Fistful of dollars, no idea.
Oh, that's the first one you've always got wrong. That is Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman in Unforgiven. That is correct.
Fudgy trails of
See, the Texans are coming to town.
Right.
You think of Texans, you think of Cowboys.
Right.
And, of course, Zolak is calling the game, and he breaks wind very wet. So, when he's in these movies, there's oftentimes he'll fart.
Yeah. And it's Zoe's Mess in Texas.
Right.
Now, we actually got away from Texas for that one. My apologies, which is why you guys didn't get it.
Sure.
So that doesn't even count as a loss there.
Yeah, when I was preparing for this, I was completely locked in on Texas.
Well, then
that's really your fault.
You have no excuse for not getting this one.
Get out of here, bud.
No.
I mean it.
I gotta talk to you.
Look, Wes is in Gillies and we're leaving.
I know you're leaving. But I just want to tell you something. I love you, sissy.
Now, this is as Texas as it gets. It's not necessarily a Western, but it's close enough. Come on, gentlemen.
They're trying to make it a Western, but I actually have this one.
Is it Brokeback Mountain?
No, it's not.
Oh.
I got this one. This one's urban.
Hold on. Give me. Oh, you just gave
I
it
ruined
away.
it. Yeah.
Well,
Get out of here, bud. I mean it.
I gotta talk to you.
Look, Wes is in Gillies and we're leaving.
I know you're leaving. But I just want to tell you something.
I was thinking of the other Travolta movie.
I love you, sissy.
Barely Staying Alive, which was based upon, was inspired by.
It's incorrect.
Well, that's from Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, go backwards.
You'll recall.
Backwards.
That was a live one.
That's Darth Vader finally informing Luke.
If you go right after O and go backwards, it's Jabba.
Okay. Go backwards. Okay.
Backwards, right after the O.
Okay, here we go. Well, Jabba was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All right.
Do you have the correct answer, John?
Urban Cowboy.
That is correct.
Never seen Urban Cowboy. I know it was very influential with people wet farting, but I don't recall the movie.
All right. Well, Fred, you have a chance to get back in the game here. You're down 1 to John. Once again, I will give you.
See, Zoe Mess in Texas. Zoe's
Mess in Texas.
Right. Don't mess with Texas.
Now, where this takes place, hard to tell. It's the American West. I don't think it's Texas, but it is a Western. You should be able to get this one. Fred, you will have first crack at this.
What is your names?
Chachapiki Slaveachi.
Tu. Chaklo. Owagalu Sicha.
Your name's?
Yes.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Is it Selma Hayek?
It is not Selma
No
Hayek.
idea what that is.
I think you guys need to hear it again.
What is your names?
Chachapiki Slovakian.
To. Chaklo. Kowagalu Sicha. Your name's?
Yes.
They're trying to communicate with each other. One of them is clearly not an indigenous American.
The Helen Keller story.
The answer is Dances with Wolves.
So another movie I never saw.
In Texas.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh,
not enough.
It's a real shame.
I know.
So many more movies you could have installed those in. It's just laziness. Oh boy. All right. Well, Scott, there you go. Scott is known for his breaking wind, very wet. And I wonder if it will all incorporate itself again in some way now that Texas is down here, if it will inspire him.
Fudgy trails of blue.
The horses don't seem to like it. It scares the cattle. You can get yourself a stampede.
Can't have Scott near the herd.
No. Even his wet burps seem to bother the cattle. All right. Well, listen, someone's got to wrangle them suckers or we're going to lose all our bounties.
So made a mess in Texas. So made a mess in Texas. So made a mess in Texas.
I'd say we replay this tomorrow at 9.
I wonder if, given the times, there's going to be any controversy around this. If it hits too close to the political bone.
Yes. It's bulletin board material for the Texans.
I'm wondering if this is going to be like a Letterman jacket game, if they all come in with stained pants.
There you go.
Is an act of, if you recall Arian Foster, that Texans team that came in all had Letterman jackets on.
Yep.
I'm wondering if they all come in with just stained jockey shorts. That's a big possibility. All right, Matt Young, if he's listening, got to be thrilled he's coming on. But he writes about the Texans for a living. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fudgy trails of blue.
More Toucher and Hart.
They're just not only talented, but they have a play demeanor that I can appreciate.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Matt Young covers the Houston Texans for the Houston Chronicle. And Matt, thank you for joining the show, sir.
Hey, thanks, guys. How's it going?
It's going good. Appreciate the time. Let me just start off by saying, what are you hearing about Nico Collins?
It's very unlikely that he'll play. Of course, they're saying he's in the protocol, but on a short week after playing Monday night, it's very unlikely that he'll play. So I wouldn't expect him to play at all.
Okay, so what is that? How devastating is that to the offense?
He missed games earlier this year with a concussion, and C.J. Stroud was able to find the other receivers. So obviously, Nico Collins is one of the best receivers in the NFL, so it's not helpful at all. But Christian Kirk, who hadn't been good all season, had a great game with the Steelers. So to get a performance like that is not so bad. But Nico was the guy that they would go to on third down when they needed a big catch. So, it is going to hurt them. But I think if a guy like Christian Kirk steps up, they got some rookie receivers that have been playing a lot better the second half. They could cover it up.
You wrote about C.J. Stroud and his problems with turnovers. I think there were 3 in the first 6 possessions, maybe, in the win over the Steelers. What do you think the issue is with Stroud when it comes to it? There's some discussion as to whether or not it was a problem with getting the snap from the former Patriot Jake Andrews at center,
right.
or whether it's just an issue of these guys playing with an intensity, in the playoffs that maybe he should be used to. He's got enough playoff games under his belt now to where you think he would understand that the pressure is going to ramp up. But what do you think the issue is?
Yeah, I went into that locker room trying to figure that out, asking around. Of course, no one's going to point fingers, but from going back and looking at the tape, it really looked like there was just a problem with the snap on multiple occasions, which is weird that would happen, what are we, 19 weeks into the season or whatever, but the snaps were coming out hot and a little low, kind of at the knees. CJ's trying to look down field to figure out the coverages, and he wasn't looking the ball in. The snaps weren't atrocious, but they weren't great either. So that's something that I got to work on. Like I said, I went around the locker room asking about people's confidence in CJ Stroud, and I didn't expect anyone to throw him under the bus, but it's kind of amazing how those guys rally around him and seem to have so much confidence in him, when I would say the fan base in Houston doesn't have a lot of confidence in him. So I don't know. There's a lot of talk of C.J. Stroud getting nervous in big situations. He certainly looked like he had some happy feet back there, but some of that was, even when he caught the snap, he seemed to be bobbling the snap. So I don't know. It seemed to really speed him up and throw off his entire game, really. But he did hit some big throws when they needed it. But it will be interesting. Another road game, another tough environment, tough crowd, if CJ looks a little more calm in the pocket than he did against Pittsburgh.
What, in your point of view, what has been the difference in C.J. Stroud from year one to the last 2 years? Now, I'm not saying the last 2 years were atrociously bad. They weren't, but they weren't as good as his first year. Why did he step back these last 2 seasons?
Yeah, one, I think the expectations are totally different. First year, I don't think people expected much from CJ, and he kind of blew everyone away. But he also was taking care of the ball in that first year, and he has not been as careful with the ball since then. I don't know if, strangely enough, the confidence gets up, and so then you start putting in throws that you didn't try your first year. But there is something that I don't know. He's attempting throws that he shouldn't attempt, and he's also, one of the fumbles against Pittsburgh, he stepped right into the rush, and it's like, what are you looking at? So I know CJ is a, I feel like he's getting better at knowing what he's seeing, but there's also in the moment he just speeds up, kind of like I said, he gets happy feet and appears uncomfortable. So I don't know. It's hard to say. He played in a ton of big games in college. Obviously, he's played in a lot of big games here in the NFL. This is his third straight year going to playoffs. He's won 3 playoff games, but when things don't go right, and that happens a lot with his offensive line, he doesn't seem super comfortable. And so that's been his problem, losing the ball in those situations.
All right, so as this is a playoff game, it's being analyzed over and over again as we have Matt Young from the Houston Chronicle on. And a lot of the talk is about institutional knowledge on both parts. There's, some crossover with coaching. Can you kind of break down where you see that from a Houston perspective?
Obviously the Texans, ever since getting Nick Caserio over to be the general manager, they've plucked from the Patriots tree quite a bit. But I don't know if there's anybody there that's really going to break down what the Patriots are trying to do. Obviously, both rosters are, nearly completely different from Nick Caserio's days. But there's guys, like you said, Jake Andrews, Trent Brown, guys who are former Patriots. But like I said, I think they're from, years ago before.
It's just the familiarity with like McDaniels and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like if they have if Houston has a good idea of what the Patriots are trying to do offensively, maybe if the Patriots then have an idea of what Houston's doing offensively, does that factor into the game at all from either perspective in your eyes?
Yeah, maybe so. Actually, D'Amico Ryan spoke to this yesterday, saying that he even played against McDaniel's offense when, I guess, in his later years in Philadelphia as a player. So he kind of talked about some of the things that he watches for. So I guess in that sense, but these NFL coaches study so much that it'll be equal on both sides, I'm sure. I really like the comparison of Vrabel and D'Amico Ryan's, two former linebackers, two just super energetic players, coaches type of guys. Being around Vrabel when he was in Houston, I know the players loved him. Players feel the same way about D'Amico. So I think it's two similar guys, similar coaching styles going head to head there.
It's being viewed as a huge coup for the Patriots to sign the defensive end Darrell Taylor to their practice squad.
40 chess.
All the info.
According to my mathematics, he's spent several months with the Houston Texans. Is this something that is going to give the Patriots an edge, or could he perhaps be a double agent and just feeding the Patriots all kinds of false information?
Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
I love the NFL strategy of just signing the guy that just got cut, and then next week, if you advance, you just cut that guy and sign the next guy. But I think all he's going to be able to tell you is like, hey, 51 over there, Will Anderson, he's going to come off that edge pretty fast. So
that's exactly what we said. How do they get to the quarterback?
Put his arm around Will Campbell and said, "Yeah, watch out for that guy."
Yeah, the guys who played are a lot faster and better than I am, so they're just going to get to the quarterback.
Well, I didn't play much.
Yeah, play against me, then times that by 4.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. One thing about D'Amico Ryan's defense is it's not like Brian Flores where he's disguising a bunch of things and trying to put you in a mental chokehold. It's 4 guys just rushing, I think he called them Tasmanian devils. So I don't think there's a whole lot that you can learn from that except, these are their guys. And I think the Patriots know those are their guys.
Now, one of the things you play against Pittsburgh and Rodgers can't move. And so when you're rushing 4 guys and you get pressure on the quarterback as well as Houston does, May does have the ability to get out of pocket and pick up yards that way. Is that something that is a concern for the Houston defense? As aggressive and as athletic as they are, is there going to be opportunities for May when plays break down to kind of pick up yards with his legs?
Yes, certainly. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers was kind of just a sitting duck back there. Once they got to him, they didn't have to worry about him, flushing out or anything. So definitely a concern. But the Texans are aggressive, but they're not. They're pretty disciplined as well. Most of the time they only rush 4. They don't blitz a ton. So they got linebackers like Azeez Al-Shire, who's pretty disciplined there in the middle. So they keep eyes on the quarterback pretty well. But some running quarterbacks have caused them a couple breakdowns here and there, but the defense is pretty disciplined. They communicate really well when all 11 guys are healthy, which they are. So, it's something to look for, but I don't think it's something that's going to just totally break them down.
How do you see this game playing out since you are, someone so close to the Texans?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the final possession. Easy to say in the second round of NFL playoffs, a lot of them do, but if I had to pick, Patriots are favored by 3. I think that's about right. So you're looking at something like, I think Texans will struggle to score. So something like, 17-13, 20-17, low scoring. And I think, I've covered the Texans long enough. It's hard for me to see them win a second round playoff game on the road. And that's because they've never done it in the history of the franchise. So if I had to pick, I would, Patriots in a close one coming down to coming down to the wire.
For that reason right there, Matt, they've never done it before. Nico Collins, according to what you've told us and, just him not being at practice, if he doesn't play, all the excuses are in place for them not winning. But what would the reaction be, do you think, with the fan base? Because around here, it's kind of 50-50. There is a sense that the Patriots are playing with house money. No one thought they were going to have a 14-3 season.
Win more than 9 games.
Yeah, much less be one win away from a conference championship. But now it seems like, okay, this is a winnable game. Are Texans fans going to be as at ease with the loss as maybe they could or should be?
Yeah, I think it depends what it looks like. If they just get dominated and CJ Stroud doesn't play well, then it's going to be a big problem. But if they lose a close one, then I think maybe more comfortable because they would feel like the team's still on the right track. But I think it's going to be a big game for CJ because fans down here are starting to slowly turn on him. Like I said, I did the story on CJ Stroud, and when I went in there and asked multiple questions in a row of what went wrong, I think he was looking at me kind of crazy, like, we just won the damn game, man. So I think some of that was a shock to him. He talked a little bit about it yesterday, that he was a little, he didn't say that he was shocked, but it seemed like he was kind of shocked by the negative reaction to his performance. So I think if the Texans lose and CJ Stroud plays poorly, then it could be a problem. But you hate to say, like, if you lose a close one, everything's okay. It won't be okay, but I think the fans will understand a little more.
How long have you covered the Texans for, Matt?
Well, I've been here 10 years, so
Okay.
it's not strictly Texans, but some Astros, some Rockets, but a lot of Texans, yeah.
Well, I'm fascinated with this guy, and he hasn't been with the organization for 3 years, but he got his start up here. What was it like covering the team when Jack Easterby was in charge? Remember that? That didn't go well for you guys.
The Texans got that dopey owner. That's right. They brought in Easterby.
Easterby was in charge. What was it like day to day going there with Easterby running things?
Very secretive. Yeah, a snake oil salesman's a word you heard a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, when a guy like J.J. Watt, who is always the company man, just comes out when he's gone and says some of the things he says, and you kind of know the situation. But it was definitely unusual. As soon as he was gone, things have picked right back up.
Yeah, strange. I don't know why.
If you don't know, Jack Easterby he was with the Patriots for a while.
It's
and
like
he's
a team chaplain.
Yeah, he's like this Christian guy that somehow finagled his way into he's like a Bible guy. Like he is all his messages are like he was a team chaplain or something like that, and he somehow conned his way into some position with the Texans.
He was like the executive vice president.
It was a very strange thing. And then there was stories about the Texans owner like sitting on the floor playing video games and things. It was a whole situation.
He did a little stand-up, though. He had some comedy bits he would do.
I'll tell you what, and they were, and you know what I loved about them? They weren't too funny, but biblically grounded. That was the best thing about them. Most great comedy is very biblically grounded.
Yeah, he was big on making sure all the players were religious, and how about some of them play football as well, maybe.
Yeah, and nothing unifies a locker room like that. All right. I think of those teams that the Lions had when they had, what's his face? Kitna as quarterback, and he divided that whole locker room up. All right, well, listen, Matt Young, have fun on Sunday. We appreciate you getting up and taking the time talking with us.
All right, guys. Let's not make it too cold for us, all right?
I cannot promise that. It might snow.
Right.
So you might have yourself a snow.
Suck real bad.
I'm out. I'm out.
You're in a press box. Stop crying. All right. Matt, thank you so much. We appreciate the time. All right, there you go. Matt Young from the Houston Chronicle.
Right, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's funny. But anyway.
Yeah, great comedians will tell you that's funny. And the joke was...
it's one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever heard.
Yeah, so the joke he's telling there is about Christ walking upon water, and, he loosens it up for the people by saying that he's Dr. Seussing, he's looking down at the fishes.
That's funny right there. I laugh at that all the time. I'm like, man, Jesus walking on water like, hey, what's up, fish?
Yeah.
That guy was in charge of an NFL team
See,
for 3 years.
You can't conceptualize it until someone cool breaks it down for you.
Shout out to the fish.
Do you have his different regional dialects, his different accents that he did? Because he had a New York accent.
That's right. He did Boston.
We can come back with that.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. If you would like to hear, thank you, John, for bringing back Jack Easterby.
Excellent.
That was a long forgotten treasure that we had there. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
the email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Our email segment, which is very powerful, is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. You've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. As this is the time of year, I would imagine, many work injuries. Everyone back to work. All right. If you'd like to email us, you can email us. Find our emails at 985thesportshub.com. And follow us on social media at Toucher and Hardy, at Hardy985, or at Fred Toucher, where you can see Blind Scott hundreds and hundreds of times commenting on videos to the point where I don't read any of them anymore. It's a whole thing.
I looked at that for the first time last night. I know we've talked about it a bunch, but I actually scrolled through and looked, and it got to a point where I was like, oh my God. I mean, this is like how he emails us every morning. It's unbelievable.
I do think it's interesting because people are like, you maniac, like you're commenting on all these videos. And the thing is, like, well, you're doing the same thing.
But you look at the video and it says like 275 responses to it, and 190 of them will be Scott's.
It's just, you scroll through. It's just funny to me because, like, if you're a fan of the show, or like if you're a fan of something and then you go like, oh, this was good, or this sucks, or whatever. Like, that I understand. What I don't understand is, like, people that don't know the show commenting on things, because I scroll through hundreds of videos a day, and never has it occurred to me going, I don't like that. Like, if I see the Boom guys, I might rant on the air about it, but I have no desire to tell them via text underneath a video. Like, the Tony P stuff when they comment is funny. Like, it's a whole vibe. That stuff is, like, funny to me. But, like, this just... You feel this need to react, and then they go like to Blind Scott, you're crazy, and it's like, yeah, Blind Scott's crazy, but you're arguing with him. So who are you? Like, you don't even know who Blind Scott is, and yet, so you're so far removed from anything that this video is about. Yet you find yourself arguing with the guy, and he's the crazy one? How about you're both insane?
The Tony P thing is one joke, and it has nothing to do with any of his videos, and it's kind of like a small community. You get it, we're in on the joke. The Blind Scott thing is just like a tailspin of a car spinning out of control.
And people that are on Instagram, who's almost everyone, understand it. Like, you can get like a funny comment section going. There are things that are like, sometimes the comments are funny. They can be funny in a negative way too, like they're just funny. But it's just this like half-assed, like, you suck, and then Blind Scott goes, no, they rule, and then you're like, no, and then you're like, you're crazy, you just keep commenting. Well, no, you're insane. You're engaging with this guy. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Spending time out of your day going in a back and
So
forth.
I do have to tell you, as much as it might not be good for Instagram or whatever, I do find it delightful that people get in arguments with Blind Scott, because I just think of them in this massive glass house throwing stones. Like, yeah, Blind Scott's weird, but you are too.
You're doing the same thing. I had not checked my Blind Scott email folder in a while. I have over 2,000 unread emails from Blind Scott. Most recently, after you were telling your sleep studies story earlier this morning, Fred, Scott said, Fred, I tried doing that sleep study thing. I was talking too much, and they kicked me out within 20 minutes. I tried to do the sleeping test. They're like, we're not going to do this all night long. I don't think you're going to sleep.
Yeah,
So,
I'm guessing that never happens. So Blind Scott, I think that's more of a personal issue than it is anything with the sleep company. I'd imagine that if they do, say, 2,000 sleep studies a year, that Blind Scott was the one out of 2,000 that they had to get out of there for talking too much, that he was not going to sleep. That I don't think happens very often.
Hi, Hardy. Tell Fred that we all know he knows the word clandestine. I've been listening to Fred for 20 years. I've never heard anyone use the word clandestine more than him.
Clandestine.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I love that word, and I think I use it as much, if not more, than you do.
So I know why I use it so much. I was on the air in Atlanta, and we were talking about something, and I was reading a book on the CIA, and I decided to incorporate clandestine, and I said it wrong. and Jimmy Bering corrected me.
Well,
and
how
then
did you say it?
I think I said clandestine or something like that instead of clandestine, and and Jimmy corrected me, and then I took it from there. I put it with the zeitgeist. I put that in my back pocket.
I always say clandestine.
What is it, Adam? Is it clandestine or clandestine?
It can be pronounced either way.
Kaboom. Fair for anyone. A truly democratic word. Finally, and all this hate speech. Finally, I'm pronouncing something that can be pronounced one of two ways.
Enough already, you know?
I will not. Nah, the English language is mine to play with. And if I don't want to use secretive, I want to use clandestine. And I use it a lot. And I actually can pinpoint. I was embarrassed, humiliated. I tried to use a big word on the air, and I couldn't get it out. It never happens. And even back then in Atlanta, and Jimmy was nice. He wasn't being a dick, but he corrected me, and I put that in my back pocket. I said, that ain't going to happen again with that word. I said, and then every time I use it, a part of my subconscious goes, take that, Jimmy.
Well, if you don't want to be chastised, then cover your ears for this one.
I don't like these negative ones. I like ones that are very positive.
Jesus, Mary, Mother of God, you got to be kidding me. Do you really think a Father of the Year winner like Mike Brady raised a thief? Get the facts, Jack. Anyone that didn't eat a bowl of painkillers for breakfast knows the unconscionably unscrupulous quarterback of Fairview High feigned interest in Marcia as a means to steal the Westdale playbook. The ever so guile Greg, knowing a cheater pumpkin eater when he sees one, replaced it with a phony baloney playbook. The Fairview quarterback fell for it hook, line, and sinker. No wonder Steve Barnes sued your ass. Does slander come naturally to you, or do you have to work at it?
It was defamation, not slander. But I do. Did I remember that wrong? Now,
Yes.
he did steal the mascot of the other team because there was a goat on the Brady grounds. You know, Marcia was hit in the face with a football, and Joe Namath was tricked into playing catch with Bobby. So football was a big topic. You'll recall Rosie Greer stepped in when people were making fun of Peter for being in the choir. So I just gave you a litany, a long list of expertise from the Brady Bunch. So I'm sorry if one thing got lost.
They brought the goat home, and you'll remember Alice said,
That's a real goat.
that's right, it's a real goat. And then Cindy said,
The goat trying to hump us.
Yeah.
Well, you know what people are calling this defensive tackle that, or defensive lineman that the Patriots have brought in from the practice squad? They've called him a real Sam the Butcher. And you know why? Double agent.
Is he bringing Alice the meat? Like Fred Flintstone driving around on bald feet?
No, I don't care for that coarseness. I'm talking about Sam being a double agent. You recall when Oliver and Peter started. Peter was trying on different personalities. Yeah. And, you know, pork chops and applesauce.
Sounds swell.
Sounds swell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, you know?
Yeah.
There's a whole just group of listeners that have never seen the Brady Bunch.
Oh, at this point, I think
the majority of them
have
not seen Brady Bunch.
That's so insane because Brady Bunch was old when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it was a touchstone for everyone culturally.
It was in reruns when I was a kid.
Well,
It was on when you were a kid.
we
It was on
watched
when you were an
the
adult.
Brady Bunch every day.
Yes.
Every day you watch the Brady Bunch.
There was something incredibly comforting about the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
I love the emails I got about the GOAT takedown. And Fred, yesterday you were adamant that you could take down 100 to 150 pound goat.
Yeah.
You said you would go low on the goat.
Go low, take the legs out, spindly legs.
Sure.
And I received multiple emails. Here's just the latest one from Steve. I have to respond. I've raised goats for 22 years.
Loser.
There's no way a 190-pound Fred with spindle legs could take down a 150-pound goat.
Oh, yeah?
One that size.
I can almost do a chin-up.
One that size has 350 to over 400 pounds resistance, low center of gravity, extremely tough to move. I'm 220 pounds, and if I need to move one that's not wanting to move, it takes two guys.
It takes two to tango, no question.
It takes a pygmy goat is around 35 to 40 pounds. He might be able to move one of those, but with those legs, probably not. Welcome anytime. I have a small farm. This is my favorite sentence. He can try any goats he wants. He can try any goat he wants.
There you go. The challenge issued.
Well, I'm not going to go out there and hurt a goat.
I laughed to myself when I read that, though. It's like, I'll try that one. No, I tried that one.
Yeah, see, I did that to fool you. I wanted you to. I see you roping me into picking this one, but I'm going to go opposite and pick this one.
Yeah.
No, I will not. One of you sent me a video of a guy like trying to tackle a goat.
Yeah, he's like wearing a
but
suit
that's
of armor,
AI.
A couple of
That's AI. There's no way that the guy can really go out there and like go to tackle a goat, right?
He did it. It was on Instagram.
That's got to be AI.
No. It was TikTok. It was true because it was on TikTok.
Well, if it was on TikTok, I wouldn't have been able to see it.
Finally, I just have to get this one done. I was complaining yesterday about the air purifier that Marcy had purchased, and it was
take your time,
passive aggressive. I was just letting it sit in the dining room. I wasn't going to unbox it. I got an email saying, "Hardy, we have a Dyson air purifier. Costs like $800. Thing is harder to maintain than a pet with a food allergy. Monthly maintenance requires a complete breakdown of the unit, cleaning the components."
Throw you in the briar
I'll
patch.
do you a favor. Return the one you have and come get this POS and take them off my hands before Adam snatches them up curbside. That was from Mike. Now, the cherry on top of this is I go into the living room last night as my family is assembled, all watching television together. Meanwhile, I've been downstairs working on something very important for the show, as we all got a chance to hear this morning. I'm down in the studio, and I come up, I say, "Hey, air purifier is out." And then somebody was listening to the show today. And Marcy said, "It's been out there for a week." I said, "No." And then Katie remarkably said, "I heard you this morning talking crap about Mommy. I didn't appreciate it, especially since she put that air purifier out like a week ago."
Yeah, and then what'd you say? You said, "Shut up, Toots."
I just turned around and went upstairs and went to bed because it was 9:30. I'm like, "Oh, well, night, everybody." Well,
yeah, you must. The Whoop must be very pleased that you went to bed at a good hour.
I tried.
The Whoop approves.
I lay there awake for an hour. It didn't really
Oh, those intrusive thoughts.
The problem.
Oh, you were a haunted, brilliant man. All right, we will be back in just a moment with our good friend Phil Perry.
Toucher and Hardy.
They're relentless. They're great.
Sports Boston, and if only I know Nick sometimes leaves the cameras on, leaving us all vulnerable. But I'll tell you, if you had an in-between break show, it would be a real hit with the kids. We were talking about how different shirts fit. And Hardy was talking about, asked Phil if he'd ever had any body issues, and Phil said no. And then I was like, that's not true.
I asked him if he's ever been unhappy with the way he looks, and he thought about it for way too long and said, yeah, which is no.
And so I had made a comment. I'm like, well, listen, when Phil was in Mr. Fred's band in D.C., that whole Discord house, that whole Mackay scene could be very, very demanding, They could say, like, what are you all dressed up for there? You're part of the problem. You're part of the system. And then Phil sat there dumbly and didn't say anything. And I could, well, no, he said, that's the phrase. That's the adjective that you would use. He was sitting there dumbly.
Oh, you mean mute. And
mute dumbly. I used it correctly. And so he was sitting there, and I could tell he didn't get it. And when were you in D.C.?
Early 2000s.
So he doesn't know the Discord house. He doesn't know who Ian Mackay is.
That's a problem.
It is fascinating to me that you played music. Now, this isn't about Mr. Fred, good or bad as it was. It was that you played music in Washington, D.C.
We don't want to hurt Mr. Fred's back catalog sales.
Exactly. But you're completely unaware of the label Discord, the man Ian Mackay.
Yep.
Or any of that. And you were in Washington, D.C., which is a
most
small
of the words
place.
you've just said, actually. I have no idea what you're talking about.
If I said to you Fugazi, what does that mean?
That means fake. That's an Italian word.
You've never heard of the band Fugazi?
Never.
You went to
never, not once.
You went. Oh boy, this is big.
Phil's got his back up now. No. I'm trying to reciprocate the energy.
This is all this. It's like in that neighborhood. You know the band Minor Threat?
Keep going.
Hoochie Machi.
Keep going.
What a life you've lived, my friend.
So describe to me what they are. As someone who's ignorant, I would love to learn, Fred, as opposed to being reprimanded for my ignorance. Thank you.
Take music now. Everything that involves instruments, like a band like Turnstile, who are very big, and they are from Maryland. Back that up 2 generations. Washington, D.C. was home of a very, very influential, politically, culturally, musically influential scene that was surrounded by one man, Ian Mackay. Ian Mackay started a band called Minor Threat. He had a house called the Discord House. He had a label, Discord, that ended up, among others, putting out his second band, Fugazi, which were so... You've ever heard Waiting Room? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I am a patient boy.
Now it's
I wait. You never heard that song?
I'm trying to do some research while you're talking to me about this. I'm also listening
because
these bands are not active while I was there. I'm like, they're much older than my time.
They're much older than my time.
Okay,
but not Fugazi, but Minor Threat. Any documentary on any
punk rock, any punk rock documentary,
or any alternative music scene. Nirvana, any documentary about Nirvana is going to reference Ian Mackay at some point in it.
So then I should dive into the Ian Mackay catalog because it got referenced in a documentary about Nirvana that I haven't seen.
That's gaslighting.
I'm just saying.
That's willful ignorance.
I'm going to guess.
No, what I'm saying is
you're way into the music scene, which is great, and I applaud you for it. There are a lot of people listening right now. Fred, my guess is they
didn't live in Washington, D.C.
that are my age.
They weren't in a band in Washington, D.C. It's almost impossible that you wouldn't know that.
It's not crazy. I'm sorry.
Do you know the band The Bad Brains?
No.
Band in D.C. You went through all that time and none of that ever came up. It never even was referenced.
This is going to stun you. Not everybody's interested in going to these sort of, intimate gatherings.
I never saw The Bad Brains and I never saw Minor Threat. I never saw Fugazi, but I'm aware that they are there.
Just because they happen to be in the city that you also lived in.
Fugazi could have signed to any label. He wouldn't sign because that's the whole thing around him. And he had this whole thing. Yeah, we get it. All right.
Now ask Fred, as the anchor of the morning show on the Patriots flagship station, who the punter is for the New England Patriots.
I think that's the thing. We just have different interests, Fred, which I think is okay.
No.
He went to Michigan State.
Ask him.
Who the punter on who is?
For the Patriots.
Oh, for the Patriots. Who's the punter for the Patriots?
He's Michigan State alumni.
That's way more than I could give you on any of the bands that Fred just asked me about.
Just awful.
Just awful.
I don't know how you.
I want to apologize.
What do you consume in your spare time that you're unaware of this?
Everything else. Punk rock is just not on my radar.
But did you
I'm
own
sorry.
Nevermind? The album?
I've really offended you.
Did you own the? People are fascinating to me. Did you ever own the album Nevermind?
Yeah.
Did you own a Green Day album?
Sure.
Okay, that is from that exact tree.
Okay, so Fred, I believe you.
No.
Do I then need to consume everything that is somehow attached to every band I've ever listened to? Is the question.
Sort of.
Okay. I totally disagree.
The answer is no. But
like if you buy a Green Day album and you go, wow, I really like this, wouldn't you then go like, oh, I wonder, you read an interview with Green Day and they reference a band. It never was like, you never went down like a rabbit hole of like having any interest in who these bands were influenced by, or maybe finding other music that was similar that you would enjoy?
I enjoyed a lot of different types of music. I did not go down said rabbit hole that you're describing.
Okay.
So
it's very interesting because
there's a lot of bands out there.
Because early 2000s, this was
and very few people are going to have heard as many bands as you have.
No, but you were in college. You were in college during
drill that into your head.
You were in college as you backpedaled pathetically. You were in college while this music was like at the height of its popularity.
Actually not, according to the internet.
No,
but
take Fugazi out of it. But Fugazi inspired bands.
What was the other one?
Threat.
Minor Threat.
No,
Minor Threat's even older than Fugazi.
Yeah, Minor Threat's older than me. I was unaware of Minor Threat when they were a band. I'm just saying that. But alternative music while you were in college was the most popular kind of music, and this
Disagree.
is all. Well, let's go by record sales. It obviously was. Dookie's went.
I was in college from 04 to 08.
Yeah,
Dookie was like 15 years before that.
Okay, 04 to 08 though was still now you were going into new metal, so it was shifting a little bit.
I'm going to say new metal at the time probably wasn't the most popular music in America.
On rock radio it was.
I
was in rock radio.
I don't know what music was popular between 04 and 08. That's one of the reasons why BCN went off the air in 09.
Listen, if you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you just wait one song.
We were in the doldrums right during those years.
Well, now you've offended me.
Well, now I've got to just do more research.
It's not research. It's just being culturally aware.
I would say for you, if you want people to be more culturally aware, try to engage them and try to make me more interested as opposed to screaming at me for not having done it.
Here is an example. It would be like if I lived in Detroit and didn't know who Jack White is. It's like it would be like that.
Jack White is far, far, far more popular in a number of different categories than every band you're just yelling at me for not knowing.
Not band, but as a singular persona, no. Ian MacKaye, I would say is
how many Grammys has Ian MacKaye won?
Well,
here we go.
Well, I'm just saying Jack White is somebody that you could stop someone on the street out here in Waltham, Massachusetts, and they would know who Jack White is. My guess is most would not know who Ian MacKaye is.
I would say that every single person that's ever been in a band in Boston, Massachusetts would know, almost know, 99% would know who Ian MacKaye is and never lived in D.C. Like, they're on the news. Like, they just did something that they found an old Bad Brains recording. It was on Washington, D.C. news.
It was on NBC Nightly News.
I think this comes back to I did play music in a band.
Yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
And so Fred, this also offends Fred's sensibilities because we weren't good. We didn't pretend to be good. We weren't all that musically sound or knowledgeable.
Well, neither was Minor Threat.
Like comparing us to any band in Boston that would know who this guy is not
just
like
don't
really
know
an
how
apples
you
to
can't
apples
get
comparison.
sucked into a little bit of the culture surrounding the town that you live in.
Full disclosure here, Minor Threat, Fugazi, they kind of suck. So you gotta
the culture of the town I lived in is for sure highlighted by its punk rock music. That's when you think Washington D.C., the first thing you think of is punk rock.
Name a bigger band out of Washington D.C., a more influential band or person.
I would say musically, culturally, D.C. is much more associated with jazz than it is punk rock. Oh. And talk about U Street and talk about the African American culture in Washington D.C. and how that has impacted them culturally.
Name one artist.
It doesn't matter where they're from.
There you go. No, D.C.
as U Street. U Street was a hub of that type of music at that particular time when it was at its height. So
what kind of music?
Jazz?
Wait, so you're saying in the 1930s?
Have you heard of
When was DC, Adam? When did DC have a huge jazz scene?
Because it's time all of America did, you know.
No,
in the
Kansas
30s,
City,
40s, 50s,
New Orleans,
yeah.
Chicago.
I
I don't
Duke
recall.
Ellington was that. I mean, when you say DC Jazz, the first person I think of is
Duke Ellington.
Duke Ellington. So.
Okay, so Duke,
everybody's heard of Duke Ellington.
So Duke Ellington is
30s, 40s, 50s.
Almost as many people have heard of Duke Ellington as they've heard of Fugazi, I'm sure. Fugazi, sorry.
But do you find this as troubling as I do, Adam?
A little bit. But I think personality plays a little bit into it as well, and Phil doesn't strike me as the type of guy that is the type to go, and this is not an insult at all, Phil, but to like go deep into a music scene or go deep into a music category. There are plenty of people that play music that don't study it as deeply as
it doesn't require study though. It's just part of the culture.
I find I'm with you, Fred. I do find it interesting that he lived in and made music in Washington, D.C. is not aware of the Discord scene.
You guys, I think, have taken the make music thing too far. We've gone too far.
You performed publicly.
Anybody who heard us at this time that might be listening to the show right now is cackling with laughter.
Well, they're always
for
cackling
what we
with
did
laughter.
to be associated with anybody who actually made real music.
Should I take this Pat from Plymouth?
This is not making music
because I can't get the screen to open.
By the way, DJ Cool is from D.C., and he'll be on the 90s cruise.
Oh, nice.
Boom.
Nice.
All it took was one Google search. Did you Google Washington, D.C. bands?
Yeah.
And what came up?
Chuck Brown, Tim Buckley. I'm just going to give you the DJ Cool, Duke Ellington, Marvin Gaye, which I did not know
that either.
Johnny Gill.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Grohl, they're calling a D.C. musician.
No, not really. Well, he grew up in Virginia, right?
Yeah, Al Jolson.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that was the big DC.
That's 100 years ago.
Pat, go ahead.
I think Hardy, or the very first question that was asked at this segment about Phil's lack of body image issues or confidence, is directly related to the issue you're talking about. I think that one's relationship with the opposite sex or romantic relationships in body image and sense of self is very much connected to our relationship with music and art. And I think that I get the feeling that Phil maybe didn't struggle with that all that often. So
that's like a Limp Bizkit type? Is that who gravitates to the biscuit? What are we talking about here? We're talking about a boys to men situation?
We're talking about guys who don't have problems with girls, don't go and lose themselves in music.
I never had a huge problem with girls, though. I mean, I was no Lothario, but I did okay. I wasn't like a loser. Well, I have no confidence in anything.
Well, there you go.
But I was popular in high school.
What about that dry spell sexually you had? Because there was a drought there that I'm sure Phil never experienced.
Phil, when did you lose your virginity? How old?
Old enough.
Were you in your teens? Were you legally an adult?
Why does this matter?
Because we're getting to the point the caller made. I lost my virginity when I was 15, and then I didn't have sex again until I was 18.
And that's a huge issue. That is a huge factor pointing to what the caller just mentioned.
I hooked up with girls.
Did you want to have sex during that period?
Not specifically. No, not totally. After the first time.
Well, there's some.
I was perfectly comfortable with every other kind of physical expression that didn't involve having to wear a rubber. I was scared of rubbers. Bad problem with the rubbers. Didn't care for that.
Okay.
You know the story. It was a whole situation. I was very afraid. She goes, turn off the lights, shut the blinds, turn on the fan. I'm not taking my shirt off. You go perform. And I was like, hachi manchi. My kids know the story. I'm like, don't do what I did. I'm like, let the girl know you're a virgin. I'm like, date a girl for a long time. And for my daughter, you gotta be in love with the boy. Like, don't do what I did. Mess you up. But then I got a girlfriend in college, and then we were having sex. But I still had I dated girls. I just didn't have sex with them. I was never a huge loser.
Did you get really into music between the ages of 15 and 18?
No. I got into music when I was little, real little. Before I was even sexually awakened, before that was even a possibility, I was into music. So no, the two things do not correlate in this existence. I don't doubt that Phil has had much more success with women than I, but let's not paint me as some kind of, shut-in loser that like had no female companionship. That's just not the case.
We're going to drill down on this and hopefully get to what the Patriots and Texans are doing.
Well, we haven't talked enough about it. I need to hear what
having
Phil
a great
thinks.
time.
All right. I was legitimately fascinated, as was you, Hardy. So don't try to back your way out of it now. All right, we will talk about the game with Phil coming up in just a moment.
starting at 7:30 p.m. on your home of Boston Bruins hockey. 98.5 The Sports Hub. When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
Well, they play to the football. They chase the football, and they get a lot of hats to the football. They create turnovers and they play physical.
All right, Phil Perry is here from NBC Sports Boston, and there is a big game on Sunday as the Texans come to town, which we already explored in our Zolak segment. But okay, big news is Nico Collins is it looks like he's not playing. In your opinion, is this a game-changing absence?
Yes, it is. C.J. Stroud is so far and away more successful when throwing to Nico Collins than he is anybody else in that Texans offense, that to me it takes a quarterback who already looks jumpy and erratic at times, and he really is a roller coaster ride and has been since that great rookie year that he had, that when you take away his best weapon, that to me just could lead to mistakes that would end up changing the game in a divisional round sort of situation.
Especially for a quarterback who's already been a little jumpy and already having some issues. It's weird. We had the guy on from the Chronicle earlier. He was talking about the issues with Jake Andrews.
Matt Young.
Getting the snap and a couple of the fumbles he kind of directly attributed to that. Are the Patriots going to be able to exploit that defensively based on what Houston is dealing with for an offensive line and continue to make him uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's interesting because C.J. Stroud is terrible under pressure, but he's actually not bad when blitzed, which is an interesting thing to sort of discern, which tells me he sees blitzes coming and he's able to get rid of the ball before he's pressured.
So if something develops like that, not as part of a blitz.
Like if you're rushing 4.
If you can get home with 4, that would be one thing. Another thing that has screwed him up, and maybe it's because he does, I think panicky is an appropriate word. I think he gets a little panicky. And so if you show blitz, and this is something that teams have done to him over the course of the season, they'll show blitz. So he's really ready to get rid of the football quickly before that pressure gets to him. But you show blitz and then actually drop out of it and then only rush 3 or 4. That can really screw with him, because if he's so ready to dump the ball off quickly because he's sensing, okay, you're about to send the house at me here, and then all of a sudden somebody drops into that throwing lane that he was planning on throwing to in the short area, now you get to a player who's holding on to the football longer than he should be. That's where some of those pressure situations can pop up, and that's where you see turnovers from him.
We still have a few days before the game, but I'm sure you've thought about this next thing. What is your best guess in how the Patriots are going to help out the left side of their offensive line against the pass rush?
I think the best thing you could do is run the football, right? That would be number one, would be if you can run it and just make sure that you're not in a lot of obvious third and long situations and you allow those guys to pin their ears back. That would be really helpful.
But on obvious passing downs, how do they do it?
You're still going to have to give those guys help. So you're going to have to get on both edges, is my guess. You're going to have to chip or jam, depending on if it's the running back or the tight end, could be either of those.
They love these jumbo packages.
They could use the jumbo packages, and they actually had some of their most successful pass plays with the jumbo package out there. That touchdown to Hunter Henry was technically a 3 tight end set, but it was with Henry, Austin Hooper, and Thayer Munford as the jumbo tight end who just stayed in to block. So one thing that's great about those packages for the Patriots is you bring that extra lineman onto the field, suddenly they have to answer in a certain way. And so they're going to answer, generally speaking, by putting another linebacker on the field, taking a defensive back off the field, because they have to be ready to take on this burly extra tight end in the run game. If you can then throw against those guys, because, again, generally speaking, they're bigger and slower and not as good in coverage, that's where you can have some real success. And the Texans defense, I was just looking at this a little bit earlier this morning, the Texans defense, when facing 6 offensive lineman packages, actually have allowed the second highest passer rating in the NFL this season.
All right,
it's not a huge sample size. It's not like they've seen 100 pass attempts with this kind of look.
Yeah.
but they're allowing a passer rating of up over 130 because they've been hit by these a couple times.
It was one of those chip plays that got Drake May into trouble against the Chargers, and it didn't seem like anything all that special, but I remember seeing it on the replay, and it's like, you're just going to need someone else over there. You're going to have to, unless it's a totally different scheme that they're facing, and they get things figured out between Campbell and
Wilson.
the left guard, just to figure that out. Otherwise, all right. And we did a lot of hand wringing about it, during the regular season. What are they going to do when they have to face Garrett? And they're going to have to face these other guys who can come at them. They figured it out. They figured it out in games before, and hopefully that was a hiccup last week that won't necessarily happen again. But if it's going to happen, it's going to happen against the Texans.
Yeah, they're dynamite, and those rushers are great, and you are going to have to chip, and you're going to have to help, and the linemen are going to have to understand how to use that help sometimes. There was one play last week where Hunter Henry tried to chip Khalil Mack, and he was way out wide, and Will Campbell, instead of, after that chip occurred, instead of sort of going out to meet him a little wider, he ended up just sort of sitting back and waiting. And then it was like the chip had basically no effect. Khalil Mack had all kinds of runway. He ended up driving Will Campbell back into Drake May's legs, and
his
blew
arms
up the play.
aren't long enough.
Well, I heard Bedard say something about Campbell, and Bedard said when he was breaking down the LSU film, he would notice Campbell getting pushed back, but then he was able to stabilize. This is very in the weeds, but that Campbell had a tendency of getting pushed back, but then he was able to stabilize. You saw in the Chargers game that he was getting pushed back into the quarterback. He said the difference is the NFL, these guys are obviously bigger and stronger. But then he theorized, and I don't know if you have a thought on this, that maybe Will Campbell struggles more against powerful edge rushers than the speedy type, and that therefore the Houston's – I like these playoff games because, oh boy, do you get in the weeds. But maybe that these all-pro caliber or all-pro first team ends display more of a power – speed package rather than just a bull rush, and that will be to his advantage.
It maybe. It's hard for me to say anybody's gonna,
It just seems to me like Will Anderson's pretty good.
They're both.
He's
great.
had success against everyone. That's just the way. But I did think it was interesting, that theory.
They're both great. They're both versatile. I think Campbell is as big a human being as he is. He's 6'6", I think 320 pounds. He's a really good athlete, and so that idea of he's probably better against speed than he is against power, I would not dismiss. He's seemingly pretty flexible for a big guy. So the point you're talking about, when he does get bull rushed, he is able to sort of strain. He's a high effort guy too. He's sort of able to strain and recover. But if you're recovering while also moving backwards a little bit after not getting any width in your pass set, you just have so little margin for error. You get driven back a foot, now you're in the quarterback's lap. Whereas if you can get out and get the guy, in a situation like that,
it comes into play.
Maybe a little bit. I haven't seen the length pop up all them. I think it does give you as a lineman a little bit more margin for error. Like there was a play on, I think it was the strip sack that he allowed, where instead of just punching straight out, he kind of does this like Mr. Miyagi, like wash on, wash off thing, and kind of his hands loop around. That allows Adafe always hands to get into his chest. And so that's more of a technique thing than it is a true length thing. You can get away with worse technique, I think, when you're longer. So he just has to be a little bit more consistent. I do wonder if the knee injury is at all impacting him. It's his right knee. So when we're talking about creating width in the pocket as a tackle, like that would be the leg you're pushing off of to get wide. Is there any issue there with him? So I think in general, you just don't want to have to put him in situations where he's on an island with either of these guys. Throw short, use screens. That's another area where, the screen game is one where the Texans have had issues this year. If you can get Will Campbell to just push the edge defender past the quarterback, the Texans have been one of the worst teams in football. They're bottom 5 in the league in defending quarterback runs.
Yeah, we were talking about
otherwise.
that in Houston. If he's able to, if May's able to escape pressure, he might be able to get loose and do some damage with his legs.
So that was going to be my question. Now, Aaron Rodgers, wasn't going to do that. That's not part of his game. But the Texans' defense seems to always have guys around the ball, regardless of the play that's happening. Like they're playing with more than 11 guys on the field is how it looks to me. But you're saying, and Fred, you've said it too, that they've actually not been great on the quarterback carries. Now, are those designed, or are those when plays break down and the quarterback gets loose?
It's mostly scrambles. So
Okay.
against scrambles in particular, they're allowing over 9 yards a scramble. And that again, so what are the themes with this Texans defense? I would put at or near the top of the list aggressiveness. And they are at times over aggressive. And so those ends will fly up the field and leave open running lanes for the quarterback. At times the defensive line, if they're running a game or a stunt, they don't always cover their tracks in terms of looping properly and having each other's back. And so there are some open running lanes for quarterbacks when that happens too. So I think because of that aggressiveness, there are some things you can do, whether it's quarterback runs or then schematically some things you can do in terms of misdirection, whether it's with the screens or with play action. They're not the 85 Bears in every single category, right? There are a few things you can do to them to use their strength and their aggressiveness and their intensity, maybe use it against them to pick up yards.
Can Houston run against the Patriots?
Their run game was, I think, the best it's been all year against Pittsburgh. That's really not who they've been over the course of the season.
I'm just going to say Woody Marks isn't exactly a top 5 back.
And Nick Chubb isn't anywhere near what he used to be. And that offensive line is not very good. It's a below average offensive line. So I guess the thing they did against Pittsburgh that allowed them to have a little bit more success on the ground, again, there's that 6 offensive line thing, that jumbo thing. They do a lot of that too. And so they'll bring another lineman out and they'll try to overwhelm you. If Trent Brown is motivated, he's obviously a massive individual. He looks bigger now than he ever did here in New England.
How is that possible?
He is.
He was almost 400 when he was here.
I don't know how closely you watched him in that game, but boy, he's a large human being.
The
so he can
one tattoo he has.
Oh yeah,
of the two.
Maybe he's wearing short sleeves this weekend. That'd be great.
There's a lady behind him and a lady in front of him.
Oh yeah,
one of the most fascinating tattoos in pro sports. They were able to run it successfully. I don't think that's going to be something they're able to do consistently here.
Based on him being at practice yesterday, percentage probability that Christian Gonzalez plays on Sunday?
My guess is he plays.
Percentage probability.
Yeah, let's put a percentage on it. I'm going to say 84.7.
Did you see the Instagram where he said I'm back?
I did not see that,
yes,
but that's a good sign.
That was Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, I was about to say he stole that from Van Noy.
I know he did. He didn't have the little growl in the camera, but it was a photo.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Kid's got a lot to prove before he gets to Van Noy territory.
I know.
Yeah, so
in the hearts of us.
Again, this is like, and if Nico Collins is out, now you've got a real mismatch on that end of the game in terms of your secondary versus their receivers, and maybe they will end up playing more man. They've not been a big man defense all year, but if you want to bother C.J. Stroud and you want to blitz him a little bit, listen, I know I said C.J. Stroud's been pretty good against the blitz. Justin Herbert was great against the blitz during the regular season. They still blitzed him almost half of his dropbacks on Wild Card Weekend. So the Patriots might decide to blitz C.J. Stroud and play a bunch of man-to-man coverage. And if they do, I think they'll have success, because if you're down that number one option in the pass game, it makes it really, really hard.
So it sounds like you like the Patriots in this game.
I do. I think it'll be low scoring, but I think they'll be able to hit them on enough in the way of chunk gains. The Texans, surprisingly to me, it's not like they were near the bottom of the league, but they're really in the middle of the pack in terms of explosive plays allowed. So you should be able to get one or two of those. You should be able to get a long Drake May scramble at some point that puts points on the board for New England. So I think it might be played in the teens, but I have the Patriots winning this one.
All right. And you think 3 is a fair number to have on this?
I think that's fair. Yeah. I think it's probably like a 17-13, 20-17, something in there type of game.
All right. There you go. Phil Perry, NBC Sports Boston. Again, another week, no one picking against the Patriots. Even
not a single person?
Even the guy from Houston, Matt Young, that we had on him from the Houston Chronicle, likes Houston, or likes the Patriots in this game. He said everyone's saying the same thing, kind of low scoring.
It made me a little nervous last week. I don't know.
Well, now it doesn't make me nervous at all.
I know. It keeps happening.
Just keeps happening over and over again. All right, Phil Perry, thank you.
All right, fellas, thank you.
We appreciate it. The great Phil Perry. Watch him on NBC Sports Boston. We will be back. Here are the headlines.
listen to Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
We are Toucher and Hardy. The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, Colonial VW, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial.
We do have one email here from Don. Says, you want someone who's picking the Texans? Tony Maz. Now, I did not hear Tony Maz do this, but Don is a pretty faithful listener. And so there's one. In terms of it is perhaps not unanimous.
This is from someone with an AOL account. It doesn't have a name. Jesus Christ, a bunch of radio DJs being a-holes to Phil about not knowing some obscure band is just as douchey as it gets. Fred loves yelling at people for no reason.
There was only one
true.
being an a-hole.
Yeah.
And
Hardy.
This is from
which
Paul.
is part of his personality. Let him be.
Paul emails in.
Let him be himself.
Yeah.
No one.
Of course, Hardy's the problem. We all know it. Just let him be himself. Jeez, it's all I can talk about.
No one but Fred gives an F about a bunch of DC bands. Please don't make me tune to a different station until Fred realizes, and the rest are in capital letters, nobody cares about your old punk bands! !
Oh, but you do. But you do. You're consuming it.
John.
Yes.
Prepare yourself.
For?
A strong cold front will reach Massachusetts just in time for the Pats to host the Texans. The 3 p.m. kickoff updated models show the potential for messy weather later in the game, which means Sunday night, which means John's feathers will be a-rufflin' Sunday night, looking at those roads, looking at the snow, thinking about driving in on Monday morning.
You know
How
what?
are you going to handle it?
I may just take a sleeping bag on. I may just sleep in that office over there. Just come in on Sunday night. Yeah.
Snow coming.
Windshield wipers up.
In New England.
Well,
imagine that.
But he does have, in all seriousness, he does have a pretty good excuse. He was stuck in a blizzard. You were stuck in like the blizzard, right?
April Fool's Day blizzard in the 90s. I was stuck out in the middle of nowhere. I got trapped in a large snowbank for about 3 hours before someone dug me out.
So he does have like a traumatic experience with a snowstorm.
Right near the Wellington T station in Medford.
Stuck in your car in the snowbank?
Yes.
How'd you manage that?
I decided while it was bombing down snow to try and drive home. I was living in Malden at the time. Went up Route 99 and went off 99, off an off ramp, and it hadn't been plowed, and there were about 12 inches of snow down there. Slid right down the embankment and pow, right into the snowbank. It was bad.
Did you get out of the car and try and flag down help? Or
I did. As a matter of fact, I did. I scrambled my way back up to the main road. There was a gigantic plow, state plow, came in and said, "Hey, I'm stuck down there. Can you pull me out?" He goes, "No, we're in a state of emergency. Only emergency vehicles only. We can't help you." And he took off, left me down there.
Wait, the plow guy didn't help you?
Exactly right.
It's almost impossible to believe.
So there was a cop who came. A cop came by. And he's like, all right, tie a rope to your bumper. I'll tie a rope to mine. And instead of pulling me out, he pulled himself in. And then the plow came back and pulled him out and left me there again.
Yeah, you should have had Adolfo with you. When I had a plow guy ram me into want to know how I got stuck in employment? I had a plow guy in Brighton just play chicken with me until I had to veer off and crash my car into a snow embankment, or else I was going to hit the plow.
Yep.
So, and this is not a one-way street. I mean, this was a two-way road with traffic open. And we have to come into work even in snow emergencies. And we, just by showing a business card, as a matter of fact, even if they shut like when there was they were going off, or one of the marathon bombers, remember, we would go into work and they would say, bring in proof that you work in media because you're an essential employee.
That's right.
So, like, I had every right to be on the road, and the guy ran me into a snow embankment. So I said, Adolfo, go out and push. And he got started pushing me towards the embankment.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I got him in, and
Yeah?
I said, put the car in reverse, and I'll push. I remember this. And the car started to smoke, and I went, oh, my God, we're really stuck. Oh, no, the tires aren't moving. He had shifted the car into neutral.
Gunned it in neutral.
He gunned it in
My bad,
neutral.
boy.
Just kept gunning it and gunning it and gunning it in neutral. This is an automatic transmission.
Happy 50th.
First. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Oh! 51st
Everyone
birthday
has to
for
be
Fred
nice to
tomorrow.
me.
Tomorrow?
No, just all the time.
Oh, Liz, that include listeners too, or just us?
Yeah, listeners.
Okay.
So nothing mean, only nice stuff. This
like
came
this.
to me. I was trying to think of a segment 2 days ago, and the whole time I was thinking, this is all that came into my head. The end of the Jeffersons.
New end music for the show. That's it?
Oh.
That's it? That's all we
fine.
got?
That's all you
no,
get?
that's good.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh.
good. That's fine with me. All right. Well, listen, everyone, save your hate letters because they don't count on birthdays. You know, you got to be nice to someone on their birthday. It's the law, or else they'll come get you. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone have a great day. Bye.
Talk to you tomorrow. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Men